TLSG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap video, live stream, not video. So today we are running a little bit more of the Doom wave, the Doom hybrid ramp death wave deck that we tested out a little bit yesterday, and I really enjoyed so far. We've over the course of like 40 or so games, we've maintained a 70 to 75% win rate, which is just unheard of right now. And so we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. If you want to see more of this, if you're checking this out later, do exclamation point YouTube, and I do have this list covered on my YouTube account. And then Blooming Cosmos, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. I'm glad you were able to jump in and join us. I'm starting a little bit later than what I would have liked to. Just work has been absolutely brutal today. What is this? Been snapping all day and just went live? Wait, you've been snapping all day, or I have? So I played a little bit this morning just while I was waiting for like different responses from for a couple of different deliverables, but I thought there was no stream today. No, definitely a stream today. It'll just be like a low a low energy one, if that's a thing for me. But Savvy, yeah. So did we play against each other earlier, Savvy? Oh, you said no. I watched you against Jeff. Yeah, I was recording for the video that went live a little bit ago. So I've been multitasking pretty heavily. I think we're okay. So they snapped, but we have Killmonger. Next turn we can play Wave and Kitty Pryde. That'll allow us to do a 5 cost, and then we can replay Kitty Pryde as well. And then Mr. Brightside, thank you so much for the resub for 2 months now with your Prime sub. You said keep up the good work and the wave jokes. Yeah, the wave jokes. I can't help it. They just happen. I can't stop myself. I can't control it. I'm glad that you do enjoy them though. So we'll be able to wave, and we can do Kitty Pryde. Next turn we can pull Kitty Pryde back up. We'll be able to do Doctor Doom and Kitty Pryde. And we should be able to outpace them for the most part. And then Papa Hercules, you said after last night's streams, I thought there's no way. I thought there's no way TLSG is doing a morning stream. Yeah. So we're definitely very tired. We're gonna call it a very early night tonight, hopefully. But I did really enjoy the late night live stream. Being able to not have to worry about like focusing my attention on that, plus work, plus like potential calls. You streamed last night? Yeah, so we streamed for about 3.5 hours last night. I think it was around 3.5 hours. And then Tone Lock, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day. And then EIN Negan, welcome in as well. Mystic, you said Krakoa, but I hardly know her. It's not worse than me calling it Krakatoa. Unironically, I called it Krakatoa. What time was that stream? So I started at almost 11 p.m. my time, and I ended like 2:10 a.m. my time, and then I started work today at 7 a.m. Yeah. I mean, we can pull Kitty Pryde back in, but we don't necessarily need to. I think we leave it. We just do Doctor Doom and then Death. If we happen to hit Odin, we can pull Kitty Pryde back in, hit Odin, and then drop Kitty Pryde. Actually, no, we can't play Kitty Pryde over into Hellfire Club. So maybe we do it this way instead. The Odin... Oh, no, we have to play into the Avengers compound. Never mind. Initial impressions of Kitty. I've been running her, and she's been really fun. I've really enjoyed Kitty Pryde. So this list actually runs without Kitty as well. You can take out Kitty, put in Scorpion. That was the original list. But I've really enjoyed it. She's a fairly flexible card, and I don't think her strength comes from just like raw power. I think the flexibility of being able to like move it around the board, and it makes it kind of that unknown power level for the opponent. Need for sleep is a state of mind. That's what we went with. So I launched the stream, and I was just having like such a good time. We just never ended. So we're tied here right now. If they have like a blue Marvel, then I think we lose it. We're winning this one pretty heavily. We could try to do this. If they only drop one card, we can pull it over into Hellfire Club. But I think we get the win. We do get the 4-cube retreat. So we'll start off with 4 cubes. We jumped from 113 last night up to 120. We've been making some incredible progress. You said, and then happy Odin's Day? Is it Odin's Day, JSig? And then Cosmic, welcome in. Grinding them stream hours. We are. We're trying to make sure that Twitch knows that we can be granted partnership. We're still waiting for the response. Last time I got rejected for partner within like 4 hours. This time it's been a couple of days. So if we get rejected, it'll sting that much more. And then Astrid, you said she's not broken like people thought, but she's pretty amazing at boost. Yeah, I think Angela is one of those like really good use cases, because then all of a sudden you're getting 4 power on the board for 1 cost each turn, instead of just like the average of 2. The goat putting in the hours. We're trying. We're trying to put them in where we can. And then PD Kane, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. How are you using Kitty in this? So the way that Kitty Pride works with Wave is right now, I think it's broken. So you can use Wave and then pull Kitty Pride back up, and it's still 1 cost. And so you can theoretically outpace the opponent by being able to do more actions than they can. It's not required for the list. The list still runs really well if you take out Kitty Pride and put in Scorpion. I can't be mean about you sitting instead of walking. I'm lying down. Yeah, if I hadn't streamed so late, I would be much more apt to do the walking stream, at least for a little bit. But I am so tired today. Like, we stayed up too late. You said Tuesday, Tears Day. Wednesday is Odin's Day. Wow. Well, we just lost. And then they hit us with the good old fist bump. Unfortunate. Well, it is what it is. We're gonna retreat out. That one will count as a 1 cube loss. The peak hit them just in the right way. Oh well, that's all right. the BM after it locked down. They didn't snap beforehand, so I mean they could have. I probably would have stayed in even if they snapped. I think it takes longer than at least human looked at your application. Yeah. Before I think it was automatic, so they got it and it was just like stamped for rejection because I didn't have a long enough back history of like streams and interactions. But this one, I think they're actively going to review it, so it's going to take up to 2 weeks, it said. You were too good? I didn't see what Yondu destroyed. I need to pay more attention. For whatever reason, my deck tracker isn't capturing what is destroyed from the opponent's end. So I think we Killmonger here. Welcome in, Lockjaw. Oh, Lockjaw is huge. And then Empire of Light, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. And so depending on what they're running, the Lockjaw is a massive one to lose. I think we do Psylocke. We can do an early Doom on 5. And then we can maybe hit it with an Odin. We also have Arrow to lean in on. I think it gives us the most flexibility. I hate that there is no log of destroyed cards. Yeah, and for the PC client, I would love all destroyed, discard, hand size. Yeah. Yep, and so the deck tracker that I'm using actually keeps some of that information. So like the destroyed cards. I'm going to minimize my camera real fast. So it keeps a log of like the destroyed cards, the discarded cards, hand size is in there as well. But that's an alter, like you have to have that that extension. I wish it was natively built into the game because it's such critical information to be able to have. And we do top deck Odin, so we're going to do Dr. Doom into Odin. We're protected in Fisk Tower from any kind of like movement cards, and then I think we're just solid. Ooh, the Dracula's big. So Killmonger, Dracula. I assume that this may be like some kind of Thor Lockjaw rotation deck. They probably have a pretty big resource to lean in on the last turn, but I think we do Odin. They have a pretty big hand, so I don't know that they're going to get a guaranteed trigger for their Dracula either. Sometimes the in-game destroy counter is glitched. Yep. It doesn't always show correctly, especially if cards like Apocalypse are discarded, which that doesn't show correctly in the tracker either, but the deck just keeps working. Like, it doesn't feel like it should. Like, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was going to perform very well. And it continues to have that reach. The same kind of reach that I've had with Electro Ramps, but it has the flexibility to not be as restricted by like a Sandman, because Sandman won't help you in every single game. Wi-Fi aggro for a second, and you're one out, or a key card is gone. Oh, yeah, and you don't know about it. So like if you look away and then Sokovia pops up, you have no idea what they discarded, no idea what you discarded. It happens all too often. All too often. We can do this. We'll have 5 energy next turn. I don't know that we get anything good from it, but yeah, Electro is really good, but like, it can tie up your hand. It makes it kind of inflexible for having like the lower cost cards. So it always makes Shang-Chi feel kind of bad. And then the same thing for Sandman. Sometimes like the opponent doesn't really restrict the opponent. And then Wolver, welcome in. And then Cosmic, you said 4? 4 what? Oh, 4. I said 5. You're right, Cosmic. My bad. That's I now we're now on the same page. I know what you're talking about now. We don't have any 1-cost cards. We don't have our Kitty Pryde, which we would be able to use here. Yondu would be amazing in Bar Sinister. I think we're just gonna wave. Minos, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. Galactus, I have a feeling. With the Storm, this looks more like a Professor X lockdown. But looking at the Daredevil, yeah, my first thought would be Galactus as well. And then Slowhand, welcome in. Cerebro, yeah, Cerebro we pulled from the camp. Oh yeah, it could be Cerebro too. You're right. Jeff was running Cerebro 2 earlier. Kitty just in here because she's new or actually good. She has, so right now I think her interaction with Wave is broken. She has like incredibly strong synergy with Wave right now. So if you Wave and Kitty Pryde is on the board, you pull her back in. She doesn't cost 4, but instead she costs 1. And right now with Bounce, she doesn't. So there's a kind of, I assume it's a glitch and it's an oversight. But right now with Beast, let's say you bounce her in your hand, you play her that first time she costs 0. Once you pull her back into your hand, she costs 1. So I think she will be good with Bounce, but I don't think I think with that interaction not working as you would assume it does, I think I don't think it's quite as good now as it maybe will be in the future. So they have to have a Captain Marvel? Oh, wait, this could still be Cerebro 2. Could be just a wild Cerebro 2, though. I think it's a bug, and the fact they haven't acknowledged it means they're trying to decide if they want to call it a bug or a feature. Yeah. They could have Vision. They could have Captain Marvel. Or this could be a super strange Cerebro 2, and they have a Hobgoblin coming our way. Just like a massively negative Hobgoblin. Because I don't see them using... I feel like this has to be Cerebro 2, or else they'd be kind of hesitant to cap out Bar Sinister, with Flooded Lane being what it is. Even still, I think that's a bit of a risky call. We're going to snap into it. I think we play Kitty Pryde, we destroy it. Next turn we'll have... I guess it's not a super cheap death. It's only a 4 cost, so maybe that's not the play. No, I was intending to destroy it to reduce the power of our death, but I think I don't think it helps me as much as I thought. We might be able to, maybe could have done both Death and She-Hulk on the next turn if we did it that way, but I don't know. And then Cruel Master, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day. Ooh, it's a shh. I'm so confused. Is it a She-Hulk and a Taskmaster? And an Arnim Zola wouldn't be great? I'm so confused. Oh, well, no. They could do a She-Hulk. They could do a She-Hulk and a Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel would need to be the one that goes over to the right. It could be Doctor Doom too, yeah. I think Captain Marvel and She-Hulk is their play line. And so they wanted to drop initiative to make sure that we couldn't destroy it. Because Captain Marvel would be 6, it'd bring them up to 8 in the right lane. Yeah. I think by playing the She-Hulk we messed up. We probably should have just floated. Then we could have done She-Hulk and Shang-Chi. And we would have lost we would have dropped initiative. I don't see a way to win this one. Yeah, Doom loses the tiebreaker because it doesn't do anything here. The big power here is going to be 2 force. It's going to be, we're going to retreat out. I think we had a way to win by dropping initiative and then using Shang-Chi, but so I don't know that it's a Cerebro deck. I still don't know that it's Cerebro. It could just be a lane control style Shuri deck. At an 80 power Titania yesterday because of Bar Sinister. Yeah, Bar Sinister gets absolutely wild. Yeah, the Cerebro I had in hand came from camp. It didn't come from Daily Bugle. So I could see Shuri with a Hobgoblin. So Jeff likes to use a Hobgoblin in his Cerebro too. I feel like it is a little too expensive on curve to really justify. So I don't know. I haven't seen anybody use it, but there's a small chance that it could happen. They thought I wouldn't be able to play in their Goose Lane, but Titania, yeah. Was that Jeff? No, it wasn't Jeff. We played him earlier and he was running a Cerebro too. So there may be a little bit of extra buzz around it. Ooh, I like Shuri's Lab. I like Shuri's Lab with Kitty Pryde. You can really elevate how powerful she gets. We're going to play it into Muir Island first. That way, the first time we replay it, it's going to be 3 instead of 2. And then from there, we're just going to be chunking it into Shuri's Lab. General, you said, hey man, I'm not working from home today, so I downloaded the Twitch app just for you. Thank you so much, General. Hopefully, it's not going too poorly. Hopefully, it's going well. Oh, I've been wanting to see this. Yeah, I haven't personally gotten Shuri's Lab with Kitty Pryde, but she should get pretty big, especially with us having Wave to restrict what they can do, and a few of those other play lines. Yeah, Jeff hates the features location, so you wanted Dex with Storm. Yeah, I could see that. I could see him not being a fan of it. So they have Thor. I think we can wave and hope for Odin. Either that or we hold down for a little bit. I think we do. I think we wave. Maybe we hit Odin, maybe not. Either way, we're still going to be able to play Kitty Pryde next turn. The feature location is not fun. Yeah, it's not incredible. Ooh, there's a small chance that Krakoa destroys our Kitty Pryde here. And then Hint, you said I had a game today where we both got Morph from camp and both played it on 3. So it's the Mighty Morphing. Wait, what order did it play that in? Did it play Kitty Pryde first? Is it going to destroy our... Oh, no. It did it right? Did it? Should it be okay? Played Kitty after? Huge. So for whatever reason, I haven't had it interact where it actually destroyed Kitty Pryde. Do you mind reading what Krakoa does? It's on my small phone screen. Yeah, so Krakoa on turn 5, it takes over and plays both players' cards for them. So it's like a miniaturized one-turn ego. Will Shuri plus Kitty ever be viable? It's decent because you can get it pretty cheap, but I don't think that ever overpowers like the standard play line of like a Red Skull or a She-Hulk on it. But it's not terrible. I've seen it once. This is the biggest kitty pride I've ever seen, and we don't have initiative here, which is good. We don't want initiative. We could do, I guess, Shang-Chi and then Kitty Pride. Would this win this right lane depending on what they flip into? I don't know. We could also do Arrow, but they could play a couple of cards. Play right and put Arrow left. Yeah, since it's not restricted by wave, they could play multiple cards, and so this flip may not win. They could play over into Shuri's Lab. I don't know. We're gonna try. We're gonna try this and hope. So the Doctor Doom. Do we beat Doctor Doom? What does it flip into? Leech. Leech is not great for them. I think after the 12 power loss in that lane, we should come out on top. And then our Kitty Pride in the left lane is just massive. Might sound dumb, but how do you gain initiative? So whoever's currently winning the game at that point. So whoever has like either they're winning more lanes or they have more like total power. They're the one that has initiative. You can always tell by who has the highlighted name border. That is a very big, that is a very prideful kitty. We have the massive 42 power behemoth from Shuri's Lab. And then Lord Bro, you said, how are you doing today? I'm doing well so far. We stayed up a little bit too late last night. Streaming, we were just enjoying playing with it, playing with this deck. And so I stayed up a little bit too late, but otherwise we're doing good. Mr. Carrier, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. And then Lord Bra, I hope that you're having a great day as well. Ryu, welcome in. You said, oh, the shave is real. Yeah, the shave is real. It had to happen. It was time. It was getting a little bit too long where it started getting kind of itchy. I'm really liking Kitty so far. Feels really good with Angela and Bishop. It does. Like it synergizes incredibly well with those two. So any deck that really wants to run them consistently. So even like a Sarah like counter tech deck, it does decently with. Have they said anything about wave? Nope. Not that I've seen. I keep checking, keep trying to keep an eye out for it. I haven't seen anything. All that I've seen that they said was a bug was the collector interaction. I assume that it all is, you know, kind of in line with the same bug, but we don't know that for sure. And then cool, welcome in. You said, hey TLSG, I'm gonna watch you for a bit. I did watch a bit of the stream replay this morning, and I was not watching live last night. I think you read someone's name wrong. There's another cool that pops in every once in a while. But maybe it's just a different cool. The one that was in the chat last night was cool COO, so it's cool Coup. I think we wave here into an early Sarah. If we happen to use Yondu in the left lane, that's gonna destroy another one of the cards, making our death even cheaper. And then Tyler, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. Oh, it felt like you thought it was me though? Maybe. I may have. We got tired and it all kind of started running together. My day began with you live, so couldn't have been any better. That's huge. I'm glad that we're able to be live when you're starting your day. So we could do Odin to re-trigger. This is already 5, so it goes down to 4, and then 3 goes down to 2 again. Next turn we would be able to do these two. I think we're just going to do Sarah. We can do Sarah. Next turn we can still do Odin to re-trigger the Titan. And then on that last turn we're just going to have a flood of cards we can do. One can only hope for a cheap death. That's true. That's true, Papa Hercules. We cannot re-trigger wave. They magnetoed it into mid. Oof. Odin triggers location effects? No, it doesn't. But with wave, Wave will set She-Hulk to 4, and then she is reduced further, I think, from Titan and the soak from there. We do get Doctor Doom. So we can do Doctor Doom, Kitty Pryde. Next turn we can pull Kitty Pryde back up. Maybe we do Doctor Doom in mid. That way we can Odin mid. Because on the last turn, it won't really matter if we hit anything with Yondu. We can do Odin mid to re-trigger the Doctor Doom again. I still think we're weirdest Death Wave ever. This one, yeah, so it's like a hybrid. So it's a hybrid between like a ramp deck and a Death Wave deck. And I was really hesitant when I first saw it, but it has been incredibly consistent. Like my most consistent deck this season. So with this current list, with Doom Kitty, we've played 31 games with this one, a positive net cube gain of 64 with a win rate of 71%. I don't know. It surprised me with how well it has been performing. Yeah, we started with this list at 113. We're at 121, I think now. Recommended a good deck for the climb from 95 to Infinite. I've been running Hawk and it feels less consistent since I made 95. I think it comes in like waves or pockets. So depending on what you're running against, I think determines what deck is going to be good or consistent. How much was because of Kitty? Not much. So without Kitty, the original list was one created by a player named Jeet. They ran Scorpion instead of Kitty Pryde. I ran that one for today's video. I did 9 games. We lost 2 for a net gain of 15 cubes, a win rate of 77.8. So it's very, very much in line with the Kitty Pryde one as well. And so I don't think Kitty Pryde really, like, it's a cool interaction, but I don't think it's the, oof, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Well, we just lost, we just dropped 8. Had Odin went to the left lane, maybe we could have pulled that one out. Oh, but that's rough. The Juggernaut on the last play was huge. Krakoa seems to be making a lot of creators angry. What are your feelings on it? I don't have that much of an issue with it. Like sometimes it's gonna make dumb plays, yeah. But it only appears in 50% of games, and it's only gonna be 24 hours. I think my bigger issue might be once it's not featured, how often it appears. So if it appears more often than like an ego, then maybe. At that point, yeah, it could be frustrating. So when it pops up just randomly, I think it can get frustrating very quickly. But otherwise, I don't have too much of an issue. Angry over a location? Are there creators you watch? I don't know. It can be frustrating from a content creator standpoint. It can be frustrating to like you're trying to create a deck that runs well, and most of the time turn 5 is a really impactful play. But I don't know. I don't think it's worth getting frustrated over. And then Christy Gamala, welcome in. How is Krakoa ever fun? So last night, the opponent got a free resource from the raft, and it just so happened to be Destroyer, and Krakoa made them play Destroyer. I enjoyed that one very much. So it creates some kind of crazy play lines. It's been a good excuse to run your Surfer deck. Has Surfer been doing good into it? Yeah, and this one's Jeff, and we don't have a great hand. We have the Wave, so I think we use that. The Kitty Pryde is all that we've seen from him. We also know that he had a Mysterio. We destroyed that with Yondu, so it could be like a bounce deck, or it could just be like a value deck as well. Yeah, Shapes. I agree. I think it's one way or the other. They either keep Wave and Kitty the way it is, or it fixes the other side, which I think that's what it ultimately goes to, is fixing the other side. So I'm torn. We're actually actively kind of helping him with Kitty Pryde by re-triggering Wave here. The rivals meet again. Yeah, yes. Earlier today, he beat me. He beat me with a Cerebro 2 list. His Hobgoblin tech just capped out my lane. It was unfortunate, but... And then Rick's man, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. If I remember correctly, the bug was confirmed in a QA section. So the one with Collector, they did say was a bug, but that's the only one that they've like spoken to. And so I don't know. We are now 1-1 today. So we're now next time we meet will be the tiebreaker. He beat me the first time, I beat him the second time. And I think it was largely due to Krakoa, like disrupting his play line. And then Benjamin, you said people don't typically like not having the ability to make their own plays. Yeah, I can see it being like kind of on the frustrating side, but at the end of the day, like the RNG piece is kind of what drew me towards this game, and the locational elements. And so, like it's 24 hours. We can lean in, and eventually it'll go away. What do you think? Buy Galactus at the moment, or pass and wait for Thanos or Kang? Ryu, so I'm not a Kang believer. If you Kang believe that. I think Thanos is still probably, for me, a little bit more flexible. Like you can build him a couple of different ways. Galactus is very linear. So for me, Galactus gets old or boring to play. And so I think it really depends on kind of what kind of play style you enjoy. I think they're both a decent win rate, and you can climb with both of them, Galactus and Thanos. Kang, on the other hand, he doesn't really create his own play lines or change really much of anything. Bloomin', you said you're a fan of Kang? I've lost more cubes as a result of playing Kang than I have gained, and so I very because it creates the element of mind games, and I always lose whenever those come into effect. Kang the liar, yeah. She looks good with that border. Which one? Oh, Kitty Pride. I need to upgrade Kitty Pride. I haven't yet. I've lost more cues to using Kang. Yeah, me too. Because it's imperfect information. It gives the opponent the ability to play around whatever you now have information on. So it's either I kind of want to do Doctor Doom, but that caps out mid. And so then the Odin retrigger wouldn't be fantastic. I think instead we're going to go with something like this. We can do Death to the right, She-Hulk to the left. On the last turn, we can use Odin, or not Odin, we can do Doctor Doom to spread across. Purchase Thanos or wait for High Evolutionary. So we don't know how strong High Evolutionary is going to be in practice. I think he's going to be fun to play. But I don't know. I don't know if that justifies making the purchase or not. And I actually don't know when he's going to release. It's next month sometime, right? There's negative connotations around Thanos, just because he was so strong for quite a while. If it was me, I'd probably wait, I'd probably wait for High Evolutionary, but I think it comes down to a call. And we don't know if I haven't heard, at least, if High Evolutionary is going to be a big bad or not. And then Tyler, thank you so much for the Prime resub. Welcome back for the 2 months. Very glad to have you here. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. End of May. So there's still quite a bit of time to kind of recoup some of those tokens. If you're itching to buy something, Thanos is always decent. Yeah, we did. There were a couple of play lines where we could have lost that. But we got fortunate enough after getting we lost an 8-cuber, right? After losing the 8-cuber. And so Kitty Pride is a 1/0 that at each turn you can return it to your hand, and then you can replay it and it'll gain +2 power. And so right now her interaction with any kind of cost changes is, I assume, not working as intended. That hasn't been confirmed, but it just doesn't seem like it should function the way that it does. How amazing would it be if she buffed herself up after Luke's bar? She doesn't, because she doesn't buff herself up unless you physically pull it in. But it'd be kind of cool to have that interaction in Luke's bar. Yeah, so High Evolutionary allows it. I think the text reads it unlocks the secret abilities of your vanilla cards, or it doesn't say vanilla. Your ability list cards now have abilities. I think that should pull it up. And then Joe Fang, thank you so much for the follow. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. They have Craven, which is not great for us. I think we wave this turn. That way we can drop a Sarah early and then flood a little bit better. We're going to have to be really cautious of Luke's bar because I think that's going to be our loss lane. Kitty or Master Mold? I think that one is Kitty Pride, hands down. And then it's Texter, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. And then Cryptic, he said, how's it going today? It's going pretty well. This list, I started running last night. I continued running it a bit more today. And it has been phenomenal all the way throughout. How come your background switches sides in your videos? So I have my webcam, for whatever reason, I have it inverted between my live footage and then the one with the follower notifications, those sort of things, and then my other one. I don't know why I have the webcam inverted. I think it was for a collaboration at some point. I just never switched it back. The arrow in the left lane is rubbling. Not what we want. That's not what we want to see. Not the best Krakoa play. So it doesn't synergize with Patriot? No. No, because once it's used, I assume that the ability list cards no longer get buffed up with Patriot. And so it allows you to use those ability list cards in a different shell, and it unlocks some pretty cool abilities with it. I strongly dislike Krakoa. I've been hearing a bit of that today. There's a lot of people don't necessarily care for it. So Captain Marvel will be able to win them Luke's bar pretty easily. Unless we got lucky and hit it with a Gambit. That's a Hail Mary. So it's either that, we could do She-Hulk and then pull Kitty Pryde back in and drop it back down. And hope that that was enough to win left and mid. But I think we lose this one. So even that's just going to be 2 extra. That's 11. If Captain Marvel moves, it's not going to win. What a play from Krakoa? Yeah. Yeah. The arrow bouncing back lost us so much initiative. Or so much tempo. So I don't think we can win this one. It's only 1 extra cube, so I'm going to send it. But will this be a YouTube video? Because you are part of my nightly routine to watch your recent posts. Yeah, so I have one covering, it's basically this list, but instead of Kitty Pryde, it has Scorpion. I posted one just a little bit earlier today. Is the Beast interaction a bug with Kitty Pryde? They haven't said. They haven't said, Joe. I would assume it is, but they haven't confirmed that it is or not. And so I think all of them feed into the same bug. So right now, if Elysium is on the board, once you pull back in the Kitty Pryde, she goes back to 1 cost. The original play is 0, but after that, it doesn't count as if it was in hand. And then P1, welcome in. And so Rix, I have a video posted of a very similar deck list recently. I posted right before going live. Kitty Pryde is the first Series 5 card in a while, not including the Perma Series 5. That feels like it's worth the purchase. Yeah, and depending on where she lands, she's very flexible, and I think that's where the strength comes from, is that it's not linear. You can't just use it in one deck. So Master Mold, he doesn't really have that flexibility that you would want in such an expensive purchase. As much as I hate to say it, same thing with Stature. You have to use other cards to enable it, and it doesn't always pay off. And so I think Kitty Pryde is really flexible. We'll see how good she is on a long-term or larger scale, but I think for right now, she feels pretty solid. We might not win this one with TVA. Let's leave Kitty Pryde on the board. We'll play Wave to the left. Next turn we can... Oh no, we won't be able to pull Kitty Pryde back in. It would just be that. Yeah, we get the Medusa, and I think we're going to lose to it as well. TVA, I think, is going to be too strong. Yeah, I think it finally gives another way to compete with Sunspot, but just it's a little bit more flexible. So what I found the most value for it is being able to run Killmonger. So with Sunspot, you pretty much don't want to run Killmonger, and so then you're very susceptible to like zoos and just a flood of other one-cost cards. With Kitty Pryde and the flexibility to pull it back in and then play it when you want to or when you need to, it just opens up those possibilities. We're not going to be able to do it because they definitely play into the left or right lane. Kitty, Angela, and Bishop seem like a 3-card deck. Kitty seems like a mind game. You could leave her in just one turn. Yeah. Yep, you can just leave her in sometimes. You can like move it around the board, and so they don't know exactly where that power is gonna end up. Yeah, the Medusa was too strong. The Medusa, we couldn't overpower the Medusa play. In general, you said gotta admit it's a strange bug for Kitty. You'd think it would be one of the, yeah, that's my feeling as well. So like everything cost change wise, so Dream Dimension, Wave, Beast, especially with them saying that it'd be good in like a bounce style deck or like one with Bishop and Angela, you would think that those would be the first like test cases. But maybe they did, and maybe something just went wrong whenever they launched it to production. Who knows? I guess we don't know for sure. Thank you so much for the discard deck you profiled in YouTube last week. I was stuck in the mid 80s and rode discard to infinite, which I hit for the first time today. Congratulations, Accuser. I think discard is in a really strong spot. It's never one that's just incredibly exciting, but I do think it's very, very strong. And so it's a very consistent point slam, with MODOK giving it that kind of an extra nudge to be incredibly consistent. Kitty is also really good at managing initiative. Yep, you can either choose to keep it on the board to gain it, or you can pull it back in and leave it if you want to lose it. And so you can really strategically play around what your opponent is running where needed. And then RVP, how's it going? It's going well today. We are a little bit on the sleepy side. We stayed up too late streaming last night, but otherwise it's going very, very well. Nothing better than a 2-4. Kitty and Naki would probably have amazing synergy in a discard. Potentially. They did storm Krakoa. So there goes Krakoa's. I just saw the video about this deck and saying how it actually works. I know, like when I first saw it, it was just a way to see if I could abuse Kitty Pryde with Wave, and it just continued to work over and over and over again. So it was surprising, like how well it was actually functioning. So this is another Cerebro 2, right? If they get Cerebro here, ooh, Sarah. It's not a Cerebro 2. Then it's a Silver Surfer deck. We get Wave a turn too late. 2, 4, 6, 8 extra power here. So it goes up to 16. If we pull Kitty and move Kitty Pryde, it's not gonna... I don't know that we overcome that. The only potential upside we have is like doing something like this and then maybe Arrow? Or maybe Arrow here and just hope whatever they play in Danger Room doesn't stick. Have you been able to disrupt anything with Arrow? Most play around it. We've been able to get a couple of use cases with Arrow to find ways to win. The main reason that she's in here, at least for me, so it can interact with Odin potentially. So you can do Wave into Arrow into Odin later. But the main reason is against Shuri. Being able to pull it out of like Cosmo lane, pull it out of armor lanes, and then hit it with a Shang-Chi later is one of the like biggest 1-2s to be able to counter that Shuri deck. We're going to try it and just hope they have really bad luck in the Danger Room. They're going very heavily into the Danger Room. Okay, Juggernaut. Good so far. Mr. Fantastic. No. Silver Surfer needs to get destroyed here, right? Wait. Wow. It's a tie. Shouldn't have been a tie. We were able to pull it out. That took astronomical odds for us to be able to tie there. But we'll absolutely take it. We reserved the 2 cubes that we would have lost. I don't know if it's intended or not, but Wave plus Kitty feels like we will see a lot of Cosmo and Daredevil in the future. Yeah, I don't think Kitty Pryde stays where she interacts with Wave the way she does. They haven't said that they haven't directly said that it's a bug, but I can only assume that it's not intended. And Intensive, how's it going? It's going well. It's going well so far. We're climbing a little bit slower than we did last night, but we're still climbing nonetheless. We had a couple of bigger losses, but otherwise, it's going well. I'm sure they said it a bug. I know they said the collector was a bug. I haven't seen them directly respond to any of the other like issues. I would assume that it's a bug, but they haven't said it for like Beast, Wave. Those have been like radio silent. I hope it's a bug, but we don't know. Kitty Pryde breaking the game at the moment. Yeah, and it doesn't feel like anything that she's done is just like crazy out of the ordinary. Like I feel like it should have been able to be tested. Can she escape Professor X? I actually don't know, Supervillain. We haven't had her locked behind a Professor X just yet. I would hope not. I would hope that it gets locked in like it should, but we don't know. Oh, she can't? Astrid, did you see it? Okay, so they played She-Hulk left. Our Psylocke did get stuck there. We'll be able to... Krakoa is going to play our She-Hulk, which is not terrible play. We have our Shang-Chi to help swing that lane as well. And then Q, you said, I just got smacked up on Snap. Salty, leave and go to YouTube, and you made a video about the deck that smacked me up. Oh no, Q. Oh no. My bad. My bad, AQ. I didn't mean to make a video over a deck that ended up smacking you up. I got a challenge for you. Make a deck that's all tech cards, meant to counter almost anything. Cosmo, Shang-Chi, Valkyrie, Rogue. Would be fun to watch because locations and decks are so sporadic. I know that really early in the beta, Binks did something like that. But I do agree. I think it'd be kind of fun to toy around with. I think we'll see more of Wave in general, just counterbalance and Sarah decks. Yeah. Yeah, and the bad thing is it doesn't like hard counter Sarah decks either, because then they can still use 2 cards. So if it's like a really low curve, it does hurt them. But if they have Sarah down, then they can just do 2 cards on the last turn regardless. Does Zola work in the armor lane? It used to. It doesn't anymore. But it used to, which was wild. Yeah, it used to not destroy it, but it would copy it. And so then you'd have 3 copies of that card. And so there was one time that I tried for like 2 hours to get a triple Captain Marvel. And so I would play armor and then hope for the 50-50 flip for the Zola. Molt lectured me for 1 minute yesterday after I joined his stream, expecting Strong Guy because it was the title. I said it was clickbaity. I was joking. So the thing with Molt is he wears his emotions on his sleeve. So like if he's frustrated with the meta, you definitely know it. He's very passionate about the games that he plays, and I think that's both in some cases a strength and a weakness. And so it's just a different approach altogether. But I think he's definitely a good one to check out. He has a lot of passion for it, yeah. And so if he's mad, like you can definitely tell if he's mad or frustrated with something. How many steps did you get in today? None so far. I'm gonna go on a walk later with my daughter when she gets home, but I haven't walked any on stream because we stayed up so incredibly late that I didn't think I'd be able to multitask all of it. So we could do the Sarah. We potentially get a wave of our own at some point. We also have to worry about, I guess, Galactus. If they play Galactus, they play it into Krakoa. I think we're going to do Sarah. We may lose it if they play Galactus into mid. We do. And then J Siggs, you said, whoa, early enter? Oh, early enter. Leave it to TLSD to put a positive spin on everything. We can, yeah. Every once in a while, we like to see the bright side of it, the silver lining of things. And it may not have been that it would always trigger him. Like, it may have been very specific to that day that, like, it was just, like, grinding on him in a certain way. And so, I don't know. And a lot of times, especially if you're day in and day out dealing with those things, it can get hard to not focus on that negative aspect. But what did they snap over? Like a Shang-Chi is not going to be great for them, because that's leaning very heavily on us not doing anything under 9. I almost think maybe we do like a wave and a Killmonger, which doesn't feel like the optimal line. Death we know is 6, so the most that they could do is 12, which brings them to 18. I guess it's a gamble if we don't do death ourselves. Odin would be 16. If they have a death, it brings them to 18, so we'd lose that one too. I don't think it's worth the extra 3 risk. So why not just Odin? Yeah, Odin over the Killmonger and Wave for sure would be the line. But thinking of what they likely have, a Doc Ock, which I don't think they would play, but a death is very likely. And so if we think that they're going to go death, then a death of our own would win. But if we think they're going to like lean into like a Shang-Chi and gamble that we're going to play a high cost card, then that would... Do they stop you or play themselves? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to leave. So they're designed to be able to make that choice a little bit better. Going to Kang? Yeah, they may have Kanged. That may have been something that they had up their sleeves. I don't mind Molt until he starts busting a rhyme every few minutes. Does Molt bust a rhyme? I hung out in some of his streams, but I don't think I've ever caught him busting a rhyme. Usually I am multitasking, so I'm working on something else in the background, to be entirely fair, but I think they were going to play Null. Yeah, Null, they didn't have huge power, so 4 from our Sarah, and then I don't know what else like they got destroyed, but it wouldn't have been a huge Null. But if we ended up going Shang-Chi, I don't know. Can TLSG bust a rhyme? Probably not a Q. Multitasking? Yes, we're multitasking. Multitasking. I think we just pull Kitty Pryde back in and then we play it. Next turn, maybe we lean in on Psylocke Ramp if we get a 5 cost card. Otherwise, I think we lean more towards the Wave on 4. Their Wave and Yondu hit Kitty, so 7 power. Gotcha. Sorry, I messed it. No, you're fine, Lord Bra. I was more leaning into what you had said. So we don't want to wave this turn. We can wave next turn. Hey TLC, I'm here to say I love my family in a major way. I'm so glad that you love your family, whether that be like biological or like just a community that you're involved in, whatever it is. I'm glad that you found like a group that really resonates with you. So we have the extra energy, so we actually get to do. We can, as long as they don't Galactus on us. We have the Wave, we have the Kitty Pryde. Next turn, we could maybe Odin and Kitty Pryde, and then Doctor Doom and Kitty Pryde. We're just gonna hope that they don't Galactus. This deck popped up at the perfect time since I got Wave last night. Nice. I've already won 4 games. Yeah, this one works way better than I thought it would. So over like a large sample, I thought we kept getting lucky right off the bat. Oh, it is Galactus. Oof. Woof. That's 2 in a row. Galactus is absolutely going to obliterate us. So our Wave and our Kitty Pryde is now gone. We have no Pride left. Our Pride is gone. If we Yondu, this goes down to 3, but it doesn't necessarily help us with much. I think we're gonna do it. Spider-Man. They could Spider-Man. Ooh, a Doc Ock is I think worse. Because then if they have Null, Null is gonna be even bigger. There's been a murder. We gotta report the murder because this is awful. Wait, they don't have a Null. So Death goes down to 2. They could do Shang-Chi and Death. Oh wait, but they don't. They don't end up going with it. So I think we got lucky. Yeah, the Yondu came in clutch there, stealing the Null for us. Who could have seen a Doc Ock backfiring? Like Doc Ock is always the most consistent card. I've never seen Doc Ock not do well. Yondu was carrying us. Yeah, Yondu carried us that game for sure. Wait, is this we lost to Rooney just earlier, right? Run Chavez and Galactus to counter Yondu. I mean, it could be the secret play. Took the day off because of the new location. Yeah, Vision. I've seen a lot of people have that frustration. It doesn't matter if he backfires. Doc Ock is always the right call. Like even if it's the wrong call, I feel like Doc Ock, especially in Bar with No Name, you just have to. You just have to do it. You have to send it. Pretty sure it's a rule. Doc Ock must pull Shang-Chi. Yep. You have to pull Shang-Chi every time. But to be fair, by that point in the game, you're usually thinning out your hand quite a bit. And then Hink, thank you so much for the resub at tier 1. That now makes 2 months. Well, welcome in, Hink. I'm glad to have you back. Yeah, they're running Galactus again. The Electro. So. I think this is Rooney who we lost to earlier. So with the potential Galactus, do we maybe leave Kitty Pryde on the board? Play a She-Hulk. I think they probably either do Leech or a Doc Ock here. But if we can grab initiative over them, then we can arrow their card as long as they don't leech us. Everyone is running Galactus. Play some Arrow. Hopefully Arrow does not get pulled here. Ah, huge. Can Yondu clutch it again? Okay, no, they heard your secret sauce. They ran Chavez for the counter. Yeah, it's another Doc Ock and another Shang-Chi. Ooh, it does pull Killmonger, so we lose those 2 cards. We should have pulled Kitty Pryde back up, now that I think about it. But it gives us an extra space in Nidavellir to be able to lean in on, which is big. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to counter and pull over here. We'll take it. Yep, even better, because now we can arrow. You're right. And so I think the Galactus was in Plunder Castle, but it's not going to be anymore. The Galactus play is absolutely backfiring on him today. So do we do Odin here? Or maybe we do Death to the left. I think we do Death to the left. They might have I mean, if they have a Shang-Chi, they just clear out these 2. Nice Galactus, yeah. Yeah. The Killmonger and just everything that happened there just happened in the right order. Please no Giganto. If they played Giganto, we would have won the power differential in the right lane. We're gonna upgrade Kitty Pryde a little bit. We've gathered 59 boosters for it so far. Ink Praise. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to split her. We haven't got that many credits for, or that many boosters for, just the 59. So we can at least get legendary to match our other borders. I love when they wave into Galactus instead of ramping. And I use debris with priority and send them off to a FF. Yeah, it's the risk. I think that's probably why I don't like... Oh, we can't get it to legendary. I think that's why I don't like Galactus, is it's so counterable. And sometimes you just can't. You just can't do anything about it. What's 1, 2, 3, 4 times 5, 6, 7, 8? I don't know. I don't know, but I have a calculator if I need to calculate it, but I don't know off the top of my head. Is that a... Yeah, it's definitely a lot. To be honest, no one is expecting your arrow anymore. Yeah. Yeah, the arrow a lot of times isn't as surprising. I thought you were a human calculator. No, I just look at numbers a lot. But I don't calculate them in my head. Not always. Like simple math or like simple percentages I do, because I'm weird and I enjoy like the math challenges, but outside of that, no. I got to infinite with turn 6 Galactus. Definitely more consistent than ramp. Yeah, and I like a mixture of the two. Jedi, something that has like a daredevil so that you can really tell what the opponent is doing. So then maybe you go Nimrod, maybe you go Galactus. But I think it does open up that flexibility of the play a bit. Don't remember the rest, just that it's 7 million something. Is that some kind of like common question? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? His favorite number is 25. I remember that. Yep, that would be... I would have to say that's probably one of my favorite numbers. So we could either Shang-Chi this turn. It may be our only chance to destroy their hawk. It's either that or we go Wave into Kitty Pryde into Yondu, which I think we're going to do instead. We're going to be able to destroy a second card with Yondu into Odin. So I think we'll be okay. Why is that your favorite number? It was the first basketball number I had in school. No other reason. And so like I was like real small. It was like the pee-wee basketball, but I did enjoy it. I've always been fond of prime numbers personally. Prime numbers can be... Best number is 42. How come it's 42, Elite Marshmallow? We could do Sarah. And then Dito, thank you so much for the follow. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. So we could do Sarah. We could do Dr. Doom here, but I think we lean more into like the Odin to re-trigger wave one more time. And then we'll really restrict him on that last turn. We can play Dr. Doom plus move our Kitty Pryde where we need to. It's the answer to everything. Oh yeah, it's the... I haven't seen all of Hitchhiker's Guide. I've heard a lot of the references, but I haven't seen the whole thing. It's probably a movie that I just need to watch at some point. Because 42 is the answer to everything. Everyone, I'm glad everyone else knew. I'm glad everyone else knew it. So I think I lied. We can Shang-Chi. We don't have initiative, so our Kitty Pryde is safe. They don't have Devil Dino. So I think we tentatively, I think we win. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know if we need to further support mid or the left lane, though. Read the books? Are the books better than the movie? I think we're going to further support mid. And then if they have an arrow, Kitty Pryde's fine. Buy 1,000, 100,000. Dr. Doom doesn't do it for him because we invested more heavily into mid. Had we not played it right there, I think we would have lost it. I love anticipating an Enchantress or Shang-Chi, and Absorbing Man reinforces. Reinforces the... like as another Enchantress or Shang-Chi, or reinforces the Hawk by sending more stuff into their deck. Books are outstanding. We always say we can Shang-Chi, but do we ever ask if we should? I ask myself if I should all the time. because sometimes it's not the right play. And so we are back up where we've went positive for just a little bit. I'm gonna run to the restroom real fast, and then we'll be right back. And so we'll be right back to run just a little bit more here in just a second. Spicy Salami coming in with the hard-hitting questions. What's chat's opinion on the new location, Krakoa? I think I can answer that collectively for the chat. I don't think most people enjoy it. I don't mind it so much, but there's quite a few that don't enjoy it. And then Lord Bra, I see that you claimed a choose your card back, and so let's go ahead and load up the card back change for you. It's not about the right play, it's about sending a message. Sometimes it is. I was today years old when I realized the beautiful lore that no cards can be played in the Sanctum Sanctorum, but Strange Academy can move cards into the Sanctum. So if you study at Strange Academy, you can enter the Sanctum. I do like that. I like whenever it has like a good cohesive background with it. And then Lord Bra, did you have Black Panther? Sorry, I didn't see it. We'll run the Black Panther. You're slowly but surely overtaking our deck lists. Oh, actually, we've rotated a few of them out with the Black Panther. So we'll run the Black Panther Doom Kitty for a little while. Yeah, I did. So it got requested a couple of times, and I'm really bad about doing it off stream, and so I did it while I was on stream so that I wouldn't be a liar. Because it's once I end stream, it's just like everything takes over, and so then I have the work that I have to catch up on. My family gets home, and then I get tired and I forget. And so I didn't want to forget again, because I do think it was a cool idea. That is the goal, Wakanda forever. I mean, you could get there. No one sees it coming and lets you play into Plunder Castle. I'm going to say that Sarah control list that texts in Magneto as a last minute surprise. Yep. I think the Magneto is one. I've seen it start floating around, and I think it's a pretty cool like change or interaction. I mean, so we have Wave, we have Odin, we have Doom. They're running a Thanos list, and so we're really going to restrict how much they can play, but they don't want to stick around to find out. People who don't mind Krakoa are also statistically more likely to kick dogs. My dogs are. You should have saw the look that my dog gave me. If I didn't know that I don't kick my dog, I would have thought that I kicked my dog. We need a double or nothing point redemption? What do you mean, cool? And then Jeff coming in with the massive raid. Thank you so much for the raid. Hopefully you had a fantastic stream. And then Moot, you said, what up, homie? Jeff says hi. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Everybody that jumped in, thank you guys for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed Jeff's stream and you've been hooglanded. Yeah, we've been hooglanded. And thank you for the follows that are coming through. We were playing a little bit of Kitty Pryde in like a Death Wave ramp shell, but it's not necessarily required. I ran the list without Kitty Pryde, but Scorpion instead, and it did just about as well. Andy the Aviator, and then Astrid coming in with the massive 5 gifted, huge support coming in. Thank you so much, Astrid. I appreciate the support. Thank you for the continue just being here and for the gifted subs. And then Wonton Shoes, hold set, welcome in. You buy the redemption and it doubles your points or you lose them all. Oh, so it like goes down to a gamble? Why is nobody referring you to you as TLS? Because it's the J instead of a G. And then Samurai, thank you so much for the Prime sub as well. That bumps us up to 6 primes for the day. It doesn't count resubs for some reason, but incredible support. Thank you so much for sending the Prime my way. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. With the Electro, I feel like we need something that can counter a Galactus, and I don't think we have it. So I'm not going to end up doing Wave. Although that's really what we aim to do with the list, is drop the Wave. I don't think it's going to be the right play. I think instead we might just...
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
And then Holset, thank you so much for the 100 bits, for the cheer coming through. Very, very much appreciate the support. I'm glad to have you here. So we do end up doing wave anyways. They do Doc Ock into the left lane, so it's less restrictive if they end up dropping a Galactus. I think we're going to assume that they have it. We top decked our arrow, which is phenomenal. So they snap back. I think we're gonna. You're too wholesome. You couldn't even say. You couldn't even say. I don't know what's gonna upset anyone. So we try to be respectful to as many ethnicities, backgrounds, like cultures as possible. I think we're gonna. Yeah, we got really lucky with the arrow top deck. Lord Bruh coming in with the 10 gifted to match Astrid's 5. Huge support coming in. Thank you guys for them just being here. Is more than enough. So even if you can't... Ooh, wait. It's not Galactus. Oof. It's kind of sketchy. Is this a Leech? Leech would be kind of scary. They might have Kang. Yeah. It's definitely the Kang Bandit. Good call. Good call on the Kang. I think we still do the play the same, though. I refuse to play this game till Krakoa is gone. I've heard that from quite a few people. Kang into retreat. Yeah, it's the Kang snap, and it was the double Kang snap as well. I'm gonna go ahead and reinforce, even though they know exactly what we're gonna play. Ooh, wait. We don't necessarily want to play Kitty Pryde into Machine World, though. I'm just gonna do Arrow. I don't want to send them Kitty Pryde. So we're just going to do Arrow for now. Don't put the Kitty Princess in the dirty Galactus player's hand. I agree. I agree, 5. Oh yeah, they do have Electro, so it's not as big of a deal. Wait, they snap back on just a Psylocke? I guess we should have maybe held Arrow. They were able to play around it. And so now they can drop really big into mid. Yeah, so we pull up Galactus, and then we Prage. I think we're going to lose the 4 here. We misplayed this so bad. He should play Daredevil to make extra sure. Yeah. They thought they would get your Kitty Pryde. No, I think they were just playing around the arrow. And so they'll have an arrow of our own, but I think they Galactus this turn into the Superflow. And then it comes down. I don't know that we win from here. You should have arrowed mid. Yeah, we should have went with the mind games after the Kang came down, just to mess with them. Kang is such a badly designed card. It introduces those mind game elements that, and I don't thrive with the mind games, unfortunately. Do we think that's enough? They could have Null. They could have Death of their own. Kang did nothing wrong. It is Galactus we all should hate. We do top. I mean, we top deck Death. I feel like we have to stay in to lose the 8 cubes here. Do you have Untapped? How big is Null? So Destroyed is... Doc Ock was 10, Electro was 2, Psylocke was 1, so we have 13 there. On my end, we have 16. Ooh, that's a big Null. Really big Null. Yeah, it's 30-something Null for sure. They have 3 left in their deck, though. We're going to see it play out. Oh, we do, unfortunately. We should have ran. We got a little bit too curious for our own good. Does Killmonger leave a spot for Hobgoblin? 75% chance they drew it. Yeah. Yeah, it's always Null. It's always Null. Curiosity killed the pride. You're not wrong on that one. We have jumped up very substantially since last night, so I'm okay losing a little bit. We did get to see the Null variant and the 40 power Null at that. Always assume they have the card they need to win. Yeah. I've lost so many cubes to Curiosity. Yeah, in Post Infinite, it doesn't. I don't stress about it as much. We're gonna lose some big cube games, but the Curiosity always gets the better of me. 3,000 token value for the variant or just the card. I'm curious why they went for Kitty Pryde and not Shadowcat, her superhero name. I don't know. So I actually haven't heard Shadowcat. Like Kitty Pryde I knew from the X-Men like cinematic movies. But Shadowcat I didn't know that was her superhero name. Lost cubes for paid for a learn. Yeah. We paid for learning there. She's Kate Pryde now. In the comic book series, is it not Kitty anymore? Shadowcat is kind of a name that she goes by at one point. And so I think if it's more common that she goes by like Kitty Pryde for the majority of them, I think that's probably why they used it. And then Pezio, thank you so much for the resub at tier 1. Welcome back for 2 months. Very glad to have you here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. Probably just the name more people knew her as. Yeah, because I definitely knew it as Kitty Pryde and not the superhero name. No, you should know, and knowing is half the battle. That's true. Or now you should know, and knowing is half the battle. That's true. A lot of playing Marvel Snap optimally is knowing whenever you've been absolutely just destroyed. I'm going to pin Negasonic. I want to make Nimrod work. It's an expensive test. Cool. I think Negasonic can work. It's just your tempo loss is pain. Hers is going to be so strong. Yeah, with the Angela, without us having like those good cards to lean in on, like we're gonna have to hope that they play 2 cards mid and get a little bit greedy. Maybe this is only an extra 2, so we might even just do that. I still think it loses though. But yeah, I think Negasonic is too expensive for like the test and for what she provides. Like there's some games where she allows you to really control what's going on. But a lot of games she just felt like she was a dead card in hand. But Emma Frost is a more popular name than White Queen. That's true. I knew Emma Frost by Emma Frost instead of White Queen. It took a while before I made the connection between the two. This is another one that we lose. We're going to learn from our mistakes. We're going to retreat out. I think Negasonic is great, but more of as a tech card. Yeah. Yeah, being able to destroy like the red skulls behind Cosmo is my favorite line with Negasonic, but definitely not worth 6,000 and not consistent either. Yeah, and she does seem to do well in like a lane control, so like a Daredevil, Professor X, to really restrict where the opponent can play, so that you can more easily guarantee that you get the value from it. Is Bast a better buy? Yes. Is Nola a better buy? Yes. Is Negasonic a bad guy? Yes. But is it fun and looks first style? Is Negasonic really a bad guy? Oh, a bad buy. Okay. Struggling to read today. What is Jean Grey's hero name? Isn't it it's Phoenix, right? Or she's the Phoenix, but I don't know that she has like a name outside of that. Before Phoenix, she was Marvel Girl? Really? I didn't know that. In her first appearance, she was Marvel Girl? Where was her... I assume in the comics, her first appearance, right? And then Hazy Lazy, we'll go ahead and snap for you. We'll play a little bit faster as well. I have a bad habit of getting caught up reading chat and forgetting to play. She was Marvel Girl for many years? In the comic lines, yeah. And so I haven't caught up. I'm reading some of the original comics, but I was more of a cinematic person before getting into Marvel Snap. And then playing the cards and like being around like the Marvel lore all day kind of can continue to pique my curiosity. So I have a Marvel Unlimited subscription now, and I'm working through reading some of the comic lines. And so I'm always interested to see some of the lore behind some of the cards that we get. I don't think we double up on Kitty Pryde yet. I think we're just gonna do one at a time. You should try out the kitty deck I've been messing with. Kind of sucks with Krakoa, but it's been a lot of fun. Let's see what you've been messing around with. So it also abuses the Wave Odin Doctor Doom thing, but it has Angela, so you can abuse that piece of it as well. Do you get much value out of Black Widow? Or would it ever be better to slot in Bishop? Because I know if you already have Angela, Bishop's one of those others that's a pretty decent enabler, especially with like a lower curve. But if we're going with the wave play line, maybe it's not. Try starting with Hickman's House of X. And so I have that one queued up. I have a list, and I lied to you guys. I said I was going to start playing faster, and then here I am just stalling out the entire game. We'll do turn timer check. Thank you, Zaf. Is move deck early on? Is move deck so move decks is it good early on? So I think once you get access to a few of the move cards, yeah, it's pretty decent in like pull 2-ish range. It drops off until a little bit later on, and then it can hold its own in Series 3, Pool 3, but it's a lot harder. You have to work a lot harder to make it work once you get that far along. I think we're going to arrow to the left. Next turn, we can lean in with maybe a Doctor Doom, depending on what they play. If we can cap this one out cheap with a low enough amount of power, then I think we can win. Seconding the House of X and the Powers of X. Fantastic starting place for the X-Men. Yeah, and I also recently just like binged all of the X-Men movies. Like I hadn't watched them before probably 2 months ago. And then I watched through all of them up through Logan and the New Mutants. And I enjoyed it much more than what I thought I would. You could tell that some of the old ones, like obviously the effects weren't as good, but I think they were still entertaining nonetheless. I think Doctor Doom is our play. Looking at, I mean, they might destroy Kitty Pryde though. I think would be my biggest concern. So we know that we've won this left lane. Maybe we don't have initiative, so maybe we do this instead. They could Nova and Killmonger, and then we need some extra power in the left lane. And if we did that, we might as well do... Oh no, I broke it. Oh my gosh. I can't play Kitty Pryde. She started in mid, but I can't play her. Go back. Oh no. I don't know. I tried putting her back in mid. I tried doing a full reset. Oh no. Shang-Chi won't work. RIP 30 minutes. We do get the 4 cube win after whatever this was. Kitty more bugged than Kang in some games. Yeah, we won. We won Barricade. Wait, she's still in mid. Did we win that one without playing anything? Yeah, we would have won that one even without playing anything. Everything just as planned. All according to plan. And you guys are right. With them playing extra cards here, Shang-Chi wouldn't have hit Polaris. So Doom won mid, but Kitty Pryde, whenever the turn ended, was here. Had she been in my hand, we would have lost. We'll take it. I thought you got DC'd. No, Kitty Pryde makes some really weird disconnects happen for, I think, both you and your opponent. Can you explain the Sarah in the deck? Yeah, so in the deck, this is kind of a hybrid between a Death Wave and a ramp deck. So the Sarah in this list is kind of that middle ground. If you have your Psylocke or Wave, but you don't necessarily have those other in-game components, doing a Sarah on turn 4 will allow you to do a Doctor Doom on 5, even without the Electro ramp, even without like any other enablers. So you could do a Doctor Doom on 5 and Odin on 6. So it enables that piece of the playline. It's not something that you use all of the time. A lot of times you're going to have other more beneficial or more impactful turn 5 plays, but it's just one of those extra kind of combo pieces that can be decent. The bug was trying to help you. It was trying to help me help me pick the appropriate playline. I can't believe they stayed in. Yeah. With what was on the board, I can't believe they stayed in either. I guess they thought they were just going to win mid and hoping that I didn't do Doctor Doom. So I think we hold Psylocke. We do Psylocke on 3, Sarah on 4. They probably bugged out. They might have bugged out as well. I know Kitty Pryde has been disconnecting like both ends of the player base. Just wait until you get Sarah out on 4 and Wave on 5 with some combination of She-Hulk, Death, Doctor Doom. Yep. It can definitely help enable those as well. And so I mean, we're gonna have Sarah on 4. We have Wave. We have Doctor Doom. We just need like the She-Hulk and a couple of the other enablers to make it function. I always get so tempted to put Black Widow in any deck that I Wave and Odin in. It's one of those that originally, like as soon as I got Black Widow, that was my first thought with it was I should put this, like I should put Black Widow in here, and you can re-trigger Black Widow with Wave. You can re-trigger it with Odin, but it's such a low power play, especially if you're then leading into like the 3, and then if you hit it with Odin, like they're typically getting a lot more value out of it. It can work and be really frustrating sometimes, but I don't think it's incredibly consistent. So I ended up usually dropping it. It's one of those play lines I think is fun, but not necessarily practical. If the Wave Kitty interaction is bugged, would you still run her in the deck? I wouldn't. So the original list is created by a user named Jeet. They ran it in a Snap Battle Arena tournament last weekend. They got top 8, and instead of Kitty Pryde, they ran Scorpion. And so I tested that one out for, I think it was a little over 10 games, and had about a 75% win rate with it. And so even without Kitty Pryde, it still functions very, very well. Hey, Mr. Streamer, how you doing? I'm doing well so far. Hopefully you're having a good day as well. So we can do wave. We have Killmonger to destroy maybe just the time stone. And then we'll play Kitty Pryde after that. Killmonger will bounce over to the right lane, but I think that's okay. And then Ginzo, howdy. How's Kitty so far? I've been really enjoying it. I've been enjoying it a lot more than I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot more broken than it is, but I think she's very flexible. So with her current interaction with Wave, she is solid in that build. I think once that is fixed, she'll firmly find her place in just like as a utility or flex tool in a lot of builds. I think it allows for you to use that kind of growing source of a one cost instead of Sunspot, which enables you to be able to run your counter cards like Killmonger. That's what I've been enjoying with her the most, is that I can use Killmonger. Yeah, in some decks she is a better Sunspot. Yeah, and she's an automatic pair with Angela, that's true. So we don't kill any of the cards in the right lane. And right now we're tied for right. It looks to be a Silver Surfer deck, which is unfortunate. Because if they have Silver Surfer, that brings their left lane up quite a bit. I mean, depending on what they have, this could maybe win. Probably running Cozy's Thanos Surfer list. I'm not familiar with the. I'm familiar with Cozy, but I'm not familiar with the Thanos Surfer one. They win right with Surfer. Yeah, they're gonna win right with Surfer. But if they're using, so like, they can do 2 cards here. So if they do, the highest power base 3 cost is 7 in Maximus, and then Silver Surfer, that's going to give them 7, 8, 9, 11 power in mid. So it brings them to 13. This would overpower mid, and it should overpower left as well. Kitty's not affected by wave. She's not. I think it's a bug, but no, she's. I mean, if she's on the board and you pull her back in, she's not. Surfer into Cosmo is an L2. Ooh, that's true. If they, yeah, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it play out. No, it's just Silver Surfer. Wow. Oh yeah, you're right. They only get 1 card because of wave. Where we got 2 because Sarah was on the board. They get just 1. My understanding is that it's coded to be a different card. Yeah, once you pull it back in, it's like wasn't a card that started in your hand. It's a weird interaction. The game recognizes Kitty as still being on the board, yeah, and not in hand. That's the same reason whenever you pull it back in, I assume that it doesn't work with Beast, that Elysium doesn't reduce its cost, Dream Dimension, all of those like cost changing effects don't work with her. Wave goodbye. We will absolutely sweep up a couple of the cubes where we can. Yeah, it just kind of freaks out with Collector, and I think it's kind of surprising that some of these made it through testing. How about Negative Kitty? I tried Negative Kitty and like a Negative Serotonin. It just didn't feel like it had enough reach. So like Galactus, I didn't have any counters built into a Negative Serotonin to really be able to stop that play line from happening. And so it felt like I lost more often than it actually benefited from getting hit with negative. I have Kitty pinned at the moment. I have 4,800 tokens. Not too sure about her though. And I think right now, I think right now she's really strong in a few builds. I don't know that this is a good estimate of what she will be after everything is fixed, because I think a lot of the interactions are broken. I don't think she should work the way that she does with Wave. I think she should work better with Beast, which, if so, then I think she's poised to be really good in a bounce deck, especially with Hitmonkey around the corner. But I think it'll take longer before we're able to tell like how she truly feels in the meta as a whole. Like once people have some time to adjust to her play lines, will she still feel as strong as she does now? I'm not too surprised. The interaction of pulling Kitty into your hand and the opponent not knowing is a new interaction, and the net cube probably worked fine. And the net code probably worked fine for them in-house, but when you're going across the world, it causes a lot of continuity. That's what I was thinking, that it probably, like on the testing side, worked fine, but once it was pushed into production, like some code that, or some issue that wasn't there before probably made its way in. So we're thinking Galactus. We don't have Arrow, so we're gonna do a Hail Mary. We're gonna play She-Hulk. Oh wow. I guess we're going to do She-Hulk and hope to top deck an Arrow. Why don't you upgrade the ink cards? I think they look good with the common border. I know some people like the split, and some people like matching the name to the border color. I like the sheen of it. I don't know. I just think it looks solid. It's the same reason I keep most of my cards at Legendary. We get Wave, which is not what we wanted. They haven't snapped on us, though, so there's no reason to retreat. If they do Galactus here, then they have full control over what and where we can do what we want to do. Waiting for the option to be able to choose the border. That would be cool, and I know a lot of people have suggested. I haven't seen them directly respond to it, though. What do you think about Nimrod? Nimrod at 5 feels very inflexible. So using your turn 5 play to drop 5 power if you don't have a way to enable it is risky. Jeff showed a response to that today. Did he really? To the border change? Or to the Kitty Pryde interaction? I know that they responded to the way that it works with Collector, but I didn't see anything. Yeah, we're gonna learn from last time. We have initiative, so we're gonna retreat out of here. Oh, to the border change? Gotcha. Yeah, I would like to be able to upgrade my gold cards further to get different splits, my black and white ones, but right now, once they get one of those 2 backgrounds, they stay. They're thinking about more customizations for the players. I think that would be a huge win. I think it's relatively easy to do. Well, I mean, as far as it's not a big new game mode as far as coding. I think it would be much easier to tackle than that. And I think it'd be something that most players would just be a net positive or a win. The opponent retreated. Did they really? So we did retreat later, and it ended in a tie. But Nimrod works well as the flexibility tool with Galactus. Outside of that, I think destroy decks, you don't get quite as much for it. So you have to really be investing into it. And so it makes your play lines pretty inconsistent. It was something cryptic, like more card customizations are coming soon. I could see that. They're very big on not overcommitting. They want to make sure that they are not overcommitting promises. So it's Electro again. I think we have another Galactus. How consistent is the death in this list? I'm considering maybe putting Chavez in instead. Death is one of those that's sometimes good with wave. So if you've destroyed at least 2 cards, so Yondu and then Killmonger. If you've destroyed at least 2 cards, then that plus wave, you can do 2 cards. So I like the death, but I could see the argument for Chavez as well. They are bad locations for Galactus. They could also Doc Ock in... They could use Doc Ock in mid, so if so, then maybe we Yondu? I guess that destroys this whole thing. I think we have to retreat. Because even if we get a good arrow pull, if they Doc Ock here, next turn they just have free range, or free... Actually, no, with Dream Dimension, they won't be able to play Galactus next turn. Is it going to be Doc Ock and Bar with no name? It is. Man, this deck is bananas. When I first saw it, I didn't think it was going to be incredibly consistent, but it has just been able to react to so many different things. So they do get a good Doc Ock play here. It's not great for us. It's great for them. We're now losing the right lane by 24. Oof. Thanks, Mogwai. For what? For this deck or for the Galactus list? Is Flash good in this game? We don't have a Flash in this game. He's too fast. I mean, maybe he has. Oh, the Doc Ock Galactus, yeah. And he'll win. He'll play Galactus on the right and he'll win. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oof. And so our sample size has increased a little bit. Our win rate is still hovering at 65% for a total of 50 games so far. So it's holding pretty strong. Even with the crazy locations and the massive flood of Galactus that we've been seeing. Yeah, he already came to the game and he left. He was too fast for us. We didn't know he was here. That's why every deck should run Quake. Quake is one of those tech cards that sometimes you get value, but most of the time you don't. Speaking of Galactus, Hertzsmith, are you running Galactus? Are there any characters you'd like to see made into a snap card? I like Loki's character and I like the design space they could have for it. I don't like what it's currently been data mined as. Like switching hands, I think just will feel awful to everybody. And then it's Guest Gaming. Thank you so much for the raid. Hopefully you had a fantastic stream. Very glad to have you guys here. So I would like to see Loki, but really somehow lean into like that deception, and because he's a trickster, being able to lean into like that piece of it, I think would make for some pretty cool like interactions and play around. I don't think what they currently have is it though. Oh, he switched decks? Yeah, I think we played Mygo a couple of times. It looks like he maybe switched to discard. I'm guessing maybe Galactus wasn't working for him. Make him appear in different lane until the last turn. So like that becomes like a very similar version to like Mysterio though. So maybe it's that you can pick a card in your hand to mirror until the end of the game, and then it reveals as Loki instead. So something that like I think really leans into those potential mind games. It could switch one card from each player's hand. That would feel less bad than the entire hand for sure. I missed what you said about Loki. No, so we don't know if he's coming anytime soon. Somebody asked what character I would like to see added. And Loki is one of those that I think has a really cool design space. But what he's currently been data mined as is kind of lackluster. It's kind of like a Mindscape, but just when you play the card, both players swap hands. Loki, disguise yourself as a 6-cost card. Yeah, I think something like either like that or that way it's... but it would have to be something that would be believable. So if he's a 3-cost, like you would want something that matches whatever energy you had remaining or whatever energy you used. So if he's a 3-cost, you would want him to disguise himself as another 3-cost so it's believable. Just create the worst deck of all time? Oh, for Loki? Yeah, the worst deck or something that discards your hand other than Loki and then just switch it. Yeah, I have seen Mirage, and when you play him, he disguises as Mr. Fantastic, so that's still pretty linear. And I'm curious if somebody runs that with Sunspot, if that potentially gives away that they ran Mirage instead of Mr. Fantastic, because you'll be able to see how much they soaked. They haven't discarded anything. They could have a Helicarrier and... They could have Helicarrier and MODOK. Be able to buff up their hand again. I think this is all leaning in on just a really big like, last turn explosive play. But I want to see it play out. Mirage is pretty cool, but I think she should be at least 4-6. Yeah, at 4-5, she doesn't even give as much value as what Mr. Fantastic would across the board. Oh, we killed MODOK? Huge. Thank you guys for paying attention. I appreciate the help. For whatever reason, my untapped tracker isn't telling me what cards we destroyed from the opponent. It just showed up as a mystery. And then Hot Dynamics, thank you so much for the 2-month resub. Huge support coming in. That brings us up to, actually, we don't know. It doesn't count resubs for some reason. But I appreciate the support. Thank you for being here. Miss Marvel seems like Mr. Fantastic on steroids. It does. Miss Marvel is another one that might be pretty interesting to play with. I know a lot of people have talked about Living Tribunal, and I feel like that's a very all-in card. Like if it can, like if I think people are going to run counter cards a lot more often, so things that will, like Enchantress, or things that absorb ongoing cards. So I think Super Scroll, if Living Tribunal is incredibly popular, Super Scroll may get some value and see some play. So we could do Psylocke to ramp up to 4 energy next turn. I think we do. We'll probably end up just doing Wave anyways. And then Keralis, she said, hey, have a great day. Thank you so much, Keralis. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. If you're heading out, I appreciate you being here for a little while anyways. I still don't see why there is Death and Yondu. Just for super rare occasions of Wave, She-Hulk, Death, and Kitty. No, so this one doesn't. This one's not necessarily built around Kitty Pryde as much. You can abuse Wave with Kitty Pryde. But Yondu, if you end up doing Yondu, Wave, and then Odin, you can re-trigger your Wave, you re-hit Yondu, you get another destruction from Yondu, and then you can lead in on like Death and Doctor Doom. If you do Wave on 5, you can still do the normal She-Hulk into an extra card. It's just like a consistency piece. Are you switching decks soon? I come back and you're still playing this deck. This deck is not the most fun to watch. I apologize that it's not enjoyable. That it's not fun to watch. We've been having success with this. What part about it is not enjoyable? Is it Kitty Pryde being in it and it not feeling accessible? Firm disagree. I like this one. I think it's like it has a lot of flexibility pieces. Spend 5k to make him switch. I mean, we do have the channel point redemption to switch a deck. Every deck TLSG plays is fun to watch. Some decks are a little bit too linear, though. You said, yep, it's okay to watch. I like it. What to replace Kitty Pryde with? Scorpion. The original list had Scorpion instead. It's not about the deck. It's about enjoying the streamer. I appreciate you, Anfree. Just here for the vibes. Brendan, thank you as well. We could do an early Sarah. And then if we happen to hit Odin, we could re-trigger Wave, and then we can do 2 cards. Or maybe we just skip to do a free She-Hulk and then something else. No, just it's not as much of a fun puzzle deck. Yeah, some decks are, I agree, some decks are a lot harder to run. Oh wait, we have Krakoa that I forgot about. So we're not in control of our turn. It does play Kitty Pryde on the left. We'll be able to pull it back in. It uses Killmonger before the Kitty Pryde, so at least it's not going to kill her. I don't know that we're in a firm spot that we'll be able to win, though. I'm sure you've already answered, but what's the optimal play line? So there's a few kind of flexible pieces. The idea is it's a mashup between a Death Wave and an Electro Ramp. It takes out the Sandman and Electro because those restrict what you can do. And then it replaces it with those Death Wave components. So leaning in on like the disruption from Wave and making the opponent's plays a lot less efficient. Or you could lean in to an early Doctor Doom with your ramp components and early Sarah to really outpace the opponent most of the game. So they did a White Queen. They captured it was either She-Hulk or Arrow. They could have Hawk. They got She-Hulk. Prager plays, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. So I think maybe we do this. I think if they're going to play She-Hulk, they play it in Sakaar because that's the one that has the closest power differential. And so then maybe we just lean in and hope that She-Hulk can keep the right in check or intact. Ooh, it does not. So the Hawk plus the Rock Slide. Oof. We lose that one by 1. Oh, that's rough. Even if I guess if we had played Shang-Chi over there, it would have worked. It just came down to what about Kitty? Kitty would have been 1. We didn't have the extra energy. So she's just kind of hanging out in the vault. You said you bought Kang in my first game, got clowned by a Cosmo. Yep, I lost 8 cubes on day 1 to a Kang snap into a Cosmo. Was awful. CFL, I'm a huge Argonauts fan. Yeah, no, and if you don't like the deck, no, I'm glad that you said something. I'm not upset that you asked if we were. I mean, you didn't demand that I switch decks. You didn't do anything rude or egregious. You said Glenn just posted a bunch of updates on Twitter regarding Kitty Pryde 10 minutes ago. Well, let's pull them up. I'm sure that they're. I'm sure that there should be, or I'd hope that they're in line with that it's a bug. But let's see. He said Glenn Jones. All right. So he said, answering some Marvel Snap questions on Kitty Pryde. You can return Kitty Pryde and replay her in the same turn. You can't play her and resolve her with her own effect. She needs to have started the turn, resolved at the location. And then Kim, you said, I remember a game where Mindscape was a location, and the last card I played was 0. Then I got the opponent's king, and I played it and just straight, oh no, Kim. That's, I think that may be even worse. We're gonna snap abuse the bot. I think Kitty Pryde should work well in Silver Surfer decks. The deck has a few turns where you have extra energy. That's true, because a lot of times you do float quite a bit of that energy. Anyways, so Glenn Jones said, Elysium, Dream Dimension, Wave, etc. not bugged. Passive cost modifiers look for the last zone the card resolved in to apply. A Kitty Pryde returned to the hand and replayed is still technically stationary at its original location until you end turn or lock in your decision. They said it's working as intended. That's wild to me. I feel like it... And so that would apply to the beast as well, because the cost reduction applies as if it's stationary, applies if it's still there. Your deck here is saved, yeah, and this one I think works well even outside of that, but at least this one is saved for now. We can do the double Shang-Chi, or maybe we go with Death this turn into the Shang-Chi on the last turn. Maybe that's what we try. That sounds wrong, like just logically. Yeah, that I agree. I agree. It doesn't sound like that's how it should be, how it should function, but that is where it is. So Kitty's Pryde text should say spend 1 energy next turn to give her +2 power and move it. Yeah, something like that maybe. Yeah, the Elysium is like the biggest one that just kind of blows my mind. Same with the Beast. Yeah, you can still Beast bounce. No, so Bandit, once you Beast bounce it, it goes down to 0. You play it on the board, and then whenever you pull it back into your hand, unless you skip a turn, it doesn't apply because it still counts as a stationary on the board. So this would have to be a very lucky flip, I think. We're going to try it. I kind of hope it goes mid. If not, then we're hoping that this is not bigger than... Let's go mid. Huge. I don't get the need for them to even create BS like Krakoa. There's already enough junk locations to mess with your plans. I don't necessarily have as much issue with Krakoa. I think where I might start getting frustrated with it is after it's no longer a hot or featured location, depending on how frequently it pops up.
It took you long enough.
If it's fairly consistent, that would be frustrating. If it's something like Ego, where it only pops up like 1 out of 100 games, I think that's a little bit more manageable. And then Handler1, thank you so much for the 3 months as a tier 1 sub. Very much appreciate having you here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. What about more rock locations? I mean, they just want to rock. They just want to rock. are spending money on that rock title. Wait, what rock title? Is there a rock title that they have in a bundle coming up, purple? Still too much. I have an extreme dislike for the bot locations and cards that take over your line of play. I've never won one. It can be I think frustrating, but for me it's no more frustrating than like an Altar of Death whenever you don't have a deck that can deal with it, or like any other one. And so I don't know. As long as it doesn't show up very often. Oh, the April Fool's Day bundle. I thought there was another variant for the April Fools. I haven't seen the price point though. I do want to do something. I think it's going to be funny for April Fools, but we'll hopefully I'm streaming on that day. What day is April Fools? I'm not going to be. It's on Saturday. Oof. 400 gold? A title and an avatar only? Ooh, for 400 gold? Nah, I'll probably skip it. I think everyone gets a rock for logging in, but there's a bundle too. Yeah, I saw a variant that I think comes with the April Fools. What's everyone's best April Fool's Day joke? I don't know that I have a best one. First location is Weird World. You bring a deck you spent time and money on, and you get some guy's budget deck. Ooh, it was a well-timed Killmonger. Our death does continue to get cheaper, though. I still think Subterranea and Dream Dimension my least favorite. The Subterranea always feels bad, like, because you can't play around it. So I don't hear as much grief about the Lechugia as I do Subterranea. Because Lechugia, you make the decision. So it's kind of like Saw. You decide if, well, I guess not like Saw. That's a bad example. You decide if you want the misery or not. Like, you decide to have that negative effect. Subterranea is just like, here you go. Like, you can't do anything about it, and you don't have a say. And I think that's why it feels so bad. God, that was grim. My bad, Ryan. we're running on low to no sleep. My bad. That got a lot grimmer than it meant to. Oof. Like Saw. Yeah. Not my best analogy for sure. I think we're going to play into the left lane. And then in mid, if we can win this lane, they have to invest pretty heavily in Danger Room. And so there's always a chance that we are able to put 3 rocks in your deck or lose your... Okay, so not like Saw. So not like Saw at all. The Shang-Chi no scope. So we have initiative, so we're not able to use the Shang-Chi. Otherwise, I'd put it in Baxter Building. Shang-Chi left and then Odin left. Okay, the Enchantress doesn't do it. Depending on what this last card is. I think it's a Mysterio, yeah? I'm sure it's the real Mysterio there, though. And so we lose right, we lose left. Wait. This has to be a bot, right? There's no way a real person plays that. There's no way. Oh, that was the last turn? Yeah, that was the last turn. I feel like that can't be a real player. Very questionable Mysterio play. Just sloppy play. It might have been, yeah. It might have been just not calculating enough and just thinking that they had enough here to win it. We'll take it though. We will absolutely take it. And then JP Bueno, I didn't thank you for the resub for the 2 months as a tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. You said not on a list? Gotcha. My game crashed like an hour ago and still not able to reconnect. Oh my gosh, Pinkman. That is not great. Were you playing against a Kitty Pryde by chance? So last night specifically, I haven't noticed it today, but last night when I was testing with Kitty Pryde, it's like probably 50% of my opponents got disconnected and just didn't play for at least 2 of the turns. Are you still the lightly shaven guy? We are the lightly shaven guy for now. Bots get nervous when matched against streamers. I mean, misplays happen. That may be it. And you said Kane is 100% a bot? I thought Kane was real. Kane has obliterated me more times than I care to admit. I was playing against Kingpin about 20 minutes ago and got crashed and can't get back in. Oof. It's the light stubble guy now. Kane is real? Okay, I thought Kane was real. Oh, that's a joke? Gotcha. Yeah, Kane has absolutely destroyed me more times than I could count. And then Ook, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. I get unbelievably nervous when I play streamers. Sometimes I do as well. So like if I'm playing off stream or if I'm playing like a deck that isn't like an off meta pick, or I'm just experimenting, I get really nervous. That's why I try to always put a positive spin on whatever we see, even if it's like the most like obscure play line. I always try to at least put a positive spin on it, because I don't want anyone to feel that anxiety whenever they match against me, because I lose just about as many games, if not more, than normal people. You said you think snap on them? Oh yeah, it is a Thanos deck, and they don't have that many resources in hand. So I think we do Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom. Death stays at free. We can do Doctor Doom next turn. Maybe we do Arrow to the left and then Odin plus Death somewhere. Either that or we have Shang-Chi we could lean in on. I played Molt twice at rank 99 and was way too stressed. I haven't matched against Molt in like 3 months. I think we got Krakoa. That's true. That's unfortunate. I forgot about Krakoa. Well, it could be worse. Could be better, but it definitely could be worse. If you play Doom in something other than Asher Nim, it will move. Doom will? Oh, no. Only if it's a base cost. So it just looks at the base cost. They have 2 cards left in hand. I think we just do Odin to the left to re-trigger Doctor Doom. I think we just assume that either I think we probably just assume that we win mid. Why is Krakoa so dumb? Krakoa's made some decent plays. Not all of them are great. If they float a lot of energy here, we may still lose it. Nah, we're okay. All right, we tie in the right lane. We win the left by 1. We win mid very heavily. Krakoa is it's a location for sure, guys. It's won us a few games. It's lost us a few. I think while it's featured, it just kind of is what it is. You kind of, yeah. I have played where I snap into Krakoa, just hoping that their play was worse than mine. It's had some good plays, but it's also had some bad. It's just one of those. If it appears frequently after it's no longer featured, that's where it'll start getting frustrated and it'll like wear down over time. You can also run like Storm, Scarlet Witch. You could do a Cerebro 3 and do Rhino as well, to really lean in on being able to change those, like not Storm obviously, but like Magic, Scarlet Witch, Rhino. Magic wouldn't work. Never mind. Don't run Magic. Don't do Cerebro 3. Krakoa has a crush on Mystique with no ability. I have seen a Mystique with no ability a lot, very frequently from Krakoa. I was doing C3 with Rhino, and I felt people were thanking me. Yep, anytime somebody changes one of the locations, it's always like an unspoken things towards them. Yeah, wave into Magic, I guess you could, yeah. So we take out the Viper. So the Sunspot Viper, very likely like a Clog style deck. Eagle likes to know ability Mystique too. Yeah, that's true. Wait, my Krakoa made a great play. I've had a couple of the Krakoas where they made a play like that was very much in line with how I would normally play it. It is what it is. Sometimes you simply take the day off. When hot locations occurred, I don't remember the percentage. I think it was 60% of games, and it was one that just didn't work well for what I was running. There were times I had to take the day off. Baki, you said you're at 9k channel points. So I thought about adding in a couple of other cool interactions with the channel points, like either control like the camera, different things that you can use the channel points to redeem towards. But that's something I'm gonna look into it a little bit further off stream. Krakoa just stole Hawk with Rogue. I mean, it can make some good plays. Channel points for treadmill speed. Yeah, we didn't do the treadmill stream today because I stayed up too late last night playing. Wait, it's naturally a 2. It's naturally just a 2. Do we? I think maybe we just play Kitty Pride. We hold our death for now. I didn't do the treadmill today. Watch out, your opponent has a free rock. Oh no, not the free rock. We didn't do the treadmill today. I stayed up too late last night. And so I was really wiped out whenever we started the stream. I've gotten enough caffeine in now that I'm doing okay. TLSG After Dark? Yeah, it's the R-rated stream. It was wild. We absolutely crushed all of the cubes. I'm mostly happy your redemption options are affordable. We don't have to watch for 6 months to be able to 1v1. Yeah, I think eventually they will change slightly. I think there's definitely a good middle ground somewhere. But finding that good middle ground, I think, is the case. I don't think we increase them just drastically because I do want people to be able to interact with them. Wait, we've already snapped. Okay. I refuse to play until hot location is gone. Krakoa keeps sending my Galactus to the wrong lanes. Yeah, that one's tough. Galactus with Krakoa is brave. I still think I might use it to get you to play a deck. I'm not sure though. You could. You always can. You can keep saving and just thinking on it. You could brew on it for a little while. Change deck? Are you saying for a channel point, or are you just tired of seeing this deck, RB? Yeah, we had we had the trifecta on that one. It is definitely rough times for Galactus. It's just sending Galactus with his other friends. Hear me out. 1 in 3 chance. Oh no, don't play Galactus. Oh yeah. I have a hard time playing Galactus. I get bored pretty quickly because it's fairly linear. Why are high ranked games so low in power outputs? Is it strictly because more higher ranked players are strategy based? So I think it depends. Usually to get a really big payoff, you have to sacrifice the ability to counter what your opponent does, and so then it becomes just a who can do more. And not always is that going to be able to win you the games. So if they have an arrow and you can't, like, Odin your Black Panther, and so I don't know. I think it just depends. With the kind of where the meta is at, it's very counter heavy, and so things like wave, I think artificially, or at least for this deck, inflate the power outputs lower because you're really restricting how many cards and what can be put onto the board. Galactus is meant for people who don't want to think and just want to do a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and free. And I feel like Shuri sometimes slides into that same kind of like play line. Like, I enjoy Shuri, don't get me wrong, but it is very linear. Like, I can put on a movie and then it's just very like ABC in game, either retreat or snap and double down. Does this deck perhaps want Squirrel Girl over Psylocke? So Psylocke, so this is the way that I look at this one. It's much more of a, like, more towards the Electro ramp rather than like leaning into Death Wave. So I think it's closer to an Electro ramp than it is to like the Squirrel Girl, the destruction tools. And so you would rather have your ramp components outside of Electro, because that gets pretty restrictive pretty quickly, to enable your Sarah, your Doctor Doom, and some of those cards a little bit earlier. I do wish we could hit Arrow with an Odin. It's not the worst play. Ooh, yeah, we did get the priority coin flip, so they could... Well, I guess it's Krakoa, so it's not great for them. I like the KM Best variation of Galactus with Shuri and Nimrod. Yeah, I think the Shuri, Nimrod, Daredevil, to really help add to that consistency piece, is big for the archetype. since there are so many Galactus players here, how do you guys manage to climb? It's you have to be like very diligent, I feel like. I don't know. I've barely been able to get mine to the purple border. I haven't even been able to split him once. So what do we think they do? This looks like a Mr. Negative build that missed the Mr. Negative. So it could have White Tiger, and maybe is hoping to hit the White Tiger. I don't know that this does it. But we're gonna risk it and see. Snap early. True. Wait. Mystique play mid was interesting. It was one of those, they needed some kind of power. I'm kind of surprised they stayed. But yeah, he went so negative, he became positive out on the other end. So no, I'm not the play itself. I understand that he probably didn't have a very good hand. So like leaning on the Jubilee, hoping to hit like maybe a White Tiger or something else that can push power to the side. The Mystique mid it took me off guard. It's the double negative. He's not terrible. And then someone said I enjoy seeing the interaction with Kitty and Wave. And so Dawn. So the way that Kitty Pryde works with Wave is that if Kitty Pryde is on the board, whenever you pull her back in, she ignores any kind of card cost changes. So Dream Invention, Elysium, a Beast Bounce, a Wave, it stays at 1 instead of getting set to whatever Wave sets the other cards. Oh, and General Sergeant, I'll let you choose my avatar right after this. Change to Odin? Absolutely, General. I really hate this new location. I'm here to play, so let me play. Yeah, I could see that. At least it's only for 24 hours. It's not for 48 like it used to be. So I think that's a small win, like just in itself. First time watching the stream, but I just wanted to say while I'm here that you're one of my favorite YouTubers. Thank you so much, Anfree, to watch for this game. Super insightful. Keep it up. Thank you, Anfree. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream as well. I'm really glad to have you here. What would you use for this deck instead of Kitty? Scorpion. The original list was ran by Jeet in a recent tournament, and it had Scorpion in it. If you want to see, actually, I can do the snap.fan link. I have a YouTube video that I posted earlier today covering the Scorpion version. So if you want to see it, the video is linked in the snap.fan link. If not, that will lead you to just the deck code so you can copy and paste. Honestly, I'm so gullible that an opponent will make a mistake play, and in my head I'm like, oh no, they're gonna play some big Giga Chad move. Yeah, that could happen. Oh wait, I don't know what we sent them. I wasn't even paying attention. At least we have all 3 lanes right now. Okay, so I guess we didn't send them anything good. I don't watch many Snap streamers, but I'll be back for sure. That's huge, Anfree, because I'm a relatively new content creator and even newer streamer, and so it's definitely something I'm still trying to find the right balance of being able to play quickly and interact with chat, because I get distracted one way or the other quite often. And then Toyez, thank you so much for the 3-month resub with the Amazon Prime. Back again for some more. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, Toyez. And then the Clamps, thank you so much for the oh, General. Oh no, I didn't change the avatar. I'm the worst. We'll change it after this one. The idea of the deck is to destroy something here and there, and then wave on 5 for Death She-Hulk or something. So it's the same one that I'm playing now. It's just essentially Scorpion instead of Kitty Pryde. And it's meant to be more of a ramp deck than a destroy deck. So you would much rather like ramp into an early Doctor Doom and an Odin, because that's going to put over the 2 turns. That'll be like 33 power that it puts onto the board. Wait, did I say I'm the worst? I'm okay. Yeah, I did. I did about the avatar. My bad. It's we confirmed that I'm the worst. And so it's much more of a ramp deck rather than a destroy deck. It just has the consistency pieces to try to like be able to counter like a Shuri deck, to be able to sometimes lean in on the She-Hulk or Death side of it. You said, just noticed you're not verified on Twitch yet. Does it happen with the partnership? Yep. So it happens with partnership, and I got rejected the first time I tried for partnership. Like within minutes, I got rejected. And I think it was probably no more than 4 hours. And so I think it was just because I hadn't been consistently streaming on Twitch long enough. But since then, I've reapplied. It's been about 5 days since I reapplied, so we're just waiting to hear back now. They played Shuri. We have initiative, so if they do Galactus, Galactus in the TVA lane would be 6, 7, 8. This is only going to be 7 over there. Doom left. I don't think Doom left would do anything, because we have priority. It'd go off regardless. I think my big concern would be the double-powered Galactus, which we don't overcome with this one. We'll see. Wait, they play mid. Kang. Okay, Kang makes sense. Sounds reasonable, but definitely not for me. The win cons seem too split for my taste. I prefer good card go wide. Yeah, the good card go wide is solid. Wolverine gets transferred. Yeah. So the Galactus over here would beat us if that's what they go with. We could always try to like big brain outplay them now and just do a death instead. If we're confident that like a destroyer or something else is going to come down. They didn't snap back this time, so we're gonna test. We're gonna see. I waved last. Wait, yeah, I waved last turn. So they can Galactus. Yeah, it looks to be Galactus or Destroyer. The Destroyer to the right. Oh no. Wolverine needs to, I guess wherever it stacks, it doesn't matter. We lose the right by too much. Oof. The Doctor Doom would have won it. Well, it's an unfortunate switch. I genuinely think this new Wolverine variant has made more people play Galactus. I mean, the Wolverine variant looks amazing. Like the rain particle effect, I think it looks really cool. I like it further from afar. I think it's a bit much whenever it's close. But I agree. Oh, no, you're okay. You're okay, Rick. At the end of the day, I made the play. I came down to a read, and I thought they were going to Galactus. And so that's what I played for. I blame Shuri for the loss. Me too. Me too. We can blame whatever we can, Cyber. The Avatar. Oh, no, you guys. I need to just refund your channel points, General. He'll never change the Avatar. Wow. This is something. This is a turn 1 Galactus. At least we can just get extra value with Kitty Pryde. We also have Yondu that we can destroy one of their cards, the Killmonger. It seems too hard to destroy 2 cards with this deck for Death. So it doesn't lean too heavily into Death. Like Death is not the biggest driving factor. If you don't have the 2-card destruction and you end up just doing Wave into a Death, it's still 12 power. So like if we were looking for another card that we ramped into, it'd be like a Magneto. And so I'd rather have the sometimes value than just the Magneto at 12 anyways. Because most of the deck is more so around like controlling what the opponent can do and then ramping into like a Doctor Doom Odin or even an Arrow Odin or just a couple of those other kind of play lines. I'm laughing more at you forgetting than anything. Yeah, it's not a strength of mine. And then someone said a French streamer showed a fun combo today. Wong, Shuri, Odin, Yellow Jacket. Yeah. I tried that a couple of times. You can make some absurdly large cards, but it just doesn't hit as often as you would normally like. Wait, they have Electro. Were they running a Galactus deck? Maybe we don't wave. We can do Kitty Pryde. Waving doesn't really get us much, so we're just going to continue to play Kitty Pryde. He's dad brain dead? Yeah, a little bit. Turn 5 wave look good? Yeah, we could do turn 5 wave. And then I think we're hoping for the Shang-Chi. Wong Shuri Yellow Jacket? Is that the deck name? That makes 0 Yellow Jacket with 256 power? Yeah, it's the one. You can also add in Forge to kind of like push your high roll even further sometimes. And so this only puts 17 power out. So I don't think that's going to be enough. Without Shang-Chi to counter the Devil Dino, we're going to retreat out of this one. We're going to do the Avatar. That's all I've been thinking about this entire game now is the Avatar. And then Alia, you said really hard to do, like almost every Wong combo, but fun to try when you're infinite. Yeah, it's one that I've played around with a little bit. Yeah, and Valentine called that one the Puffy Jacket. Definitely an easy retreat. They just have too much potential to be able to make good plays. That might make a comeback with Living Tribunal. What, the Wong Shuri? It might, but I feel like it's still counterable. Like it still gets countered by everything else. And then Baku, I didn't see the activity feed bump up, but thank you for continuing the gifted sub that you got from Kino. Glad to have you here. But let's change the avatar. You said it's been a while. You said Odin, right? You have to have Odin. Our short list of avatars.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
And then Cyberman, thank you so much for the Prime sub as well. Huge support. I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. We have Odin somewhere. Have I passed it? Baku, I had to stick around. I appreciate it. My wife used our Twitch Prime on Critical Role, so I actually have to pay for it. Yes, I mean Critical Role. They do some pretty good stuff. Yep, Odin. Have you guys seen it? Am I just blind? We have 2 Heimdalls, but no Odin. So many avatars, still only 1 neutral. How do I not have Odin? It's never ending. Yeah, I have a few avatars. We have even more titles, unfortunately. Would be nice to have either that or to be able to filter them by like alphabetical or something. I didn't realize how big of an issue that was until I had this one. Give him Heimdall as Odin at home. I mean, we could do Heimdall because Odin isn't here right now. Do you have another choice? If not Odin, then Heimdall. All right, so I know where 2 Heimdalls are. Do you want the season? I think it's the season pass one. Do you want this one, or do you want the? I think it's the more recent one that I unlocked. Like the base avatar one. I don't like that the avatars are just mirrored card art. Yeah. And I used the Spider-Woman hair one for so long because it was off-centered. No natural sorting for avatars or titles. Nope, it's in the order that you last used them or acquired them, and so it gets really confusing real quick. All right, we're gonna lock in with this one unless you say otherwise, General. And then next time, as soon as we unlock Odin, we'll use it for you. I want that Philippines flag wave avatar. Yeah, they said that they're going to re-release those at some point. It's just figuring out when that is. I wish that when you acquired a card, you also got its avatar. That'd be pretty cool, Jordan. The regular one? Okay, we'll change it. We'll change it. We'll change it general in 3 to 5 business games. Most of the card art is directly from the comics. Yep. A lot of it is because they already own the rights to it, and so Marvel owns the rights to it, and so they're able to reuse, and they don't have to create anything from scratch. There are a lot of artists that are creating stuff from scratch, though, I believe. How's the deck behaving so far? It's been doing very, very well. So with this one, we're now at 57 total games, 64.9% win rate over the 57 games, net positive gain of 74 cubes. And so it's been incredibly consistent. Marvel Puzzle Quest does the same. I like the suggestion avatars might change voice lines. That would be kind of cool too. So like the victory, defeat, but I think that would be a lot of logistics going into making that happen. You didn't trigger Kitty? Oh no, I skipped a turn, didn't I? I was too distracted talking to chat. That's not how we get 65% win rate. Oof. Does Untapped have all your stats before downloading it, or only stats from when you've played with it downloaded? Are stats out on Untapped? You did the same last game? Oh no, Scythe, did I really? I just left her hanging on the board. That's they played Mystique, which is amazing for us because that is a terrible turn for them. And then it plays Wave, so we actually get some decent use out of Wave. We either pull Kitty Pryde back in, and then it's 15, 16, 17 extra power we're pushing onto the board. Or we're going to push an extra 21. So I think we do that, but then it comes down to where they play their extra cards. I like the idea of going wide with Doctor Doom, but I think this is fairly better than Shang-Chi. That is true. It could have played. Who changed the avatar? General changed the avatar, and I actually have to change it again. When I come back, you change your avatar. Yeah, we just changed it. Personally, I'd be fine if they stopped adding avatars and titles. Yeah, and I agree. There's a long list of both avatars and titles, and it feels like the first couple are really cool. You're like, oh, that's a new one. So I'm like, you're kind of excited because you're able to change your avatar. But after like this many, it just and it's like for the titles as well. Like it's just new cards are always Series 5. That's right, Primo. They always add them to Series 5. Doom Wave is on the rise. Yep, Doom Wave is one that. Yeah, he's been underplayed for a while, but he's definitely on the rise. So the Doom Wave Odin is definitely something that is coming back around. We're not gonna play Kitty Pryde. We have the 1 out of 3 chance that it pulls into Killmonger, and I would hate to kill Kitty Pryde off that early. I thought Untapped was the app that showed you your deck win rates. Snap.fan does. I think Untapped is working on it. Our Kitty Pryde ends up getting destroyed anyways. Feels bad. I think Untapped is working on personal stats, but I think Snap.fan is the only one that has it right now. Does Kitty get limited by Sandman? Yeah, it should. I haven't tried it specifically, but it should, the Moy. Wave into Arrow is nice. Yeah, Wave into Arrow is also a nice line. Yeah, Kitty's Pride death was inevitable. Oof. Rough out here. It's rough out here, guys. We could do Killmonger this turn, but I like the idea of just destroying one of their stones with Elektra. I'm a She-Hulk away from completing the Doom Wave decklist. That's huge. Doom Wave is definitely a fun one. Yeah, they've played Thanos a fair amount. The Inkified Carnage, the Inkified Thanos. That's a lot of play. No, nobody expects the Electra. And so then they wouldn't be expecting a Killmonger, I don't think, as well either. So I think this is one that runs Professor X. They haven't played much, but with oh wait, no, Rescue was from the hub. Never mind. We don't know. We don't know what they're going to play. I'm going to do Wave into mid. Next turn, we'll be able to She-Hulk and something else. So we can She-Hulk and Doctor Doom, She-Hulk and Shang-Chi, Doctor Doom in the left lane, which I think might be pretty fun. Without Kitty, what would you sub in? Scorpion. Oh, they could, yeah, I guess they could have leeched, yeah. I would sub in Scorpion instead. That's what the original list ran. Kitty Pryde and Krakoa crashed my game. That has been happening, yeah. I see you having new emotes. No, so I haven't got in yet, but I did have, I realized I had two or three extra slots. And so I decided to add a couple of those in while we wait. So they have a really big lane here. I don't know that we beat it, because this is an extra 14 power. They're going to get an extra 4 from Jessica Jones. So it brings them to 19. The extra 14, actually no. The extra 14 in mid does do it. Not Death. Death instead of She-Hulk. Thank you, guys. I thought you were saying Death instead of Odin, and I was like, no, we were... Okay, you're right, guys. Chat collectively had my my back on that one. I appreciate you guys. That was Death Last? How come Death Last? Oh, Death Last to avoid the arrow. You guys always have my back. We're gonna do this. I think we should be able to sweep the game, but we'll see. Oh, we had a priority anyways, so I guess an arrow didn't necessarily matter. Still sleep lag from last night? Yep, we sure are. We went a little bit too long, too consistently. I mean, but chat's a much better Agatha. I wanted to also do something cool where it's like chat plays. Kind of, I'm sure everyone is familiar with like Twitch plays Pokemon, where you're able to control it with chat. I haven't been able to find anybody that can set up that functionality to be able to like control the cards. But I think that would be really cool if we were able to do that. And you can't really run polls each round. Is the exclamation point deck not working? Let me restart Untapped and then it should work for you, Death. Too long and too consistent, yeah. This is why I lose games. I don't have 800 advisors behind me to tell me to not play stupidly. I mean, I think we would have lost that one had we not made that change. Okay, so it still didn't work. We'll do it the old school way. I'm gonna copy it manually for you. I'm not sure why the Untapped bot didn't work, but so that's the same list. It just has Scorpion instead of Kitty Pryde. I'd love for you to test the idea of streamer's luck and pilot a deck for someone who's at rank 40. I mean, we could absolutely set something up like that at some point. So we're going against G and then the numbers again. So they're running the Thanos list. I'm just trying to decide if we want to Psylocke this turn. I don't think we do. First time here, and I love the energy. Yala, welcome in. Hopefully, I'm glad. Well, I guess it sounds like you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. One of my favorite things about being able to stream is interacting with you guys. And so, like YouTube and creating the videos, which is where most of my content is, it's like creating into a silo or vacuum. So it can, like, you don't get that real time feedback, and commenting over comments is delayed and slow. And so I really enjoyed being able to interact and like chat with everybody. It's my favorite part about starting up and launching up the stream. So we now have Wave. We can do... I don't know if we want to do Wave, though. They have their stones on the board. Maybe we just go for Killmonger instead. Killmonger value to reduce a potential death. How often do you read the YouTube comments? For a new video, I usually read them for like the first 24 hours until something new is out. I'm not able to respond to all of them, but Wait, last game, didn't they have the rescue from the hub? This game they have an actual rescue. So I read them quite a bit. I'm not able to respond to all of them anymore. I used to, whenever we were like a little bit smaller, I used to try and respond to absolutely all of them. Where was my council of advisors when I kept playing Spectrum into my own Cosmo? I have done that before. That never feels good. I've played my own Cosmo and then directly played a Doctor Doom into it as well. So it does play the wave. I forgot Krakoa was on the board, but it plays the wave at least. They liked the combo, I guess. I guess they did. Either that or they had it buried in their deck and they just happened to get an extra copy. So Krakoa for them did Space Stone and Shang-Chi. I'm surprised that it didn't play into the Jessica Jones lane. So like accidentally ruin that. I think we leave everything where it's at and we just play a Doctor Doom. As long as 15 power overshadows whatever they play, then I think we're okay. Unless they stack it in a really optimal way. Odin Killmonger? Ooh, we could have used Odin on the Killmonger. But they only had the one stone. They win by 6, we win by 9, so we do win the tiebreaker. That long-standing gaming council. That could be the next story for TLSG. I may or may not have played Doctor Doom on my opponent's Cosmo lane yesterday. Yeah, and they've even made it easier now because it like does all kinds of potentially annoying stuff with like the lights and the barks and everything. But I've done the same thing. How many credits is it to split a card? I know that it's 155 boosters to go from common all the way to common again. I don't remember how many credits. It's 1550. I'm surprised I don't know that one. But 1550 to go all the way around. Hey, we can get her to legendary finally. 1525. Oh, gotcha. So just did Wong, Shuri, Odin, Absorbing Man, Killmonger. 12,288. Wait, it came down at 12,000 power? Alia? Oh, I don't want to remove her. Okay. Totally played Taskmaster into Cosmo yesterday. Oh, at rank 99.8. Oh no, Barricade. Wait, what did I say? Did I say something strange, Hair Trigger? The biggest Killmonger I've ever seen? I don't know that I've seen a Killmonger that big either. I have an idea on how to change your name. Put the point redemption up to 1.5k. Whoever buys it gets a raffle entry. Then at the end of the stream, you can change your name. You draw the winner. I guess if multiple people are going for it, that may be something that we have to do, or increase the price so that it's a lot harder to get. But right now we're just waiting on the 30 days because it needs to be something that if you're saving up for 30 days, you should be able to have a chance at it. It also feels kind of bad if you end up spending your points, then you don't actually get to change it. Interested to see this deck. The YouTube video was interesting. I've been playing with some Doom Wave recently and looking for other options. So Meatloaf, the deck has been like phenomenal all stream. I think we're up to 122, 123. Yeah, name change was at 10,000 originally, but it's up to 50,000 now. I took it off for the moment because I can't change my name for another like 6 days or so. And then Infinity, you said, "Hi, my name is rank 99. Please help." How many times do you get people donating? Infinity. I gotta admit though, Kitty, Mold, and soon to be Evolutionary are the cards I'll be sad not to get. I wouldn't be too sad about Mold. I know that he has like a cool like flavor, but overall it's not incredibly flexible. It's pretty rigid. Kitty Pryde and Evolutionary, I think, are going to be the ones that like feel the strongest for the longest. I think we wave. We next turn do Odin and Kitty Pryde. Then we can always do Doctor Doom and Kitty Pryde on the last turn, maybe. With the Titanian Ebony Maw, I think this is either a ramp list or maybe it's just a zoo, so like a Khazar zoo deck. What was destroyed? I don't know. I didn't pay attention to what Yondu destroyed. Name change should be at least 100,000. But yeah, it does seem like a race against time to see who redeems first. Yeah. Yeah, and so I want to see if there's something, a better way to do that, but I just don't know exactly what that is. Krakoa's on the board. I forgot about Krakoa. Well, at least we have Shang-Chi left. We can Shang-Chi in the left lane. Ooh, wait. Deadwood might just destroy their own Atuma. Potentially. We can hope. Cool. No, so I had it at 10,000. And then I bumped it up to 50 while I was waiting, but I didn't want anybody to get there before the 30 days. So the reason that one is more expensive than anything else is because it's locked behind a 30-day timer. And so in game, I can't change it any more than that. And so I think it has to be more expensive than like a normal name or a normal reward. I really want to get the name changed and just change it back to TLSG. Baku coming in clutch. Coming in absolutely clutch. That Venom was huge though. Yeah, it was bold to play the Atuma before Krakoa. But it didn't pay off for him. We started the stream at, I think, was it at 120? I don't know what I made the title. Yeah, we started at 120 and we're up to 124. So that's back-to-back streams that we've gained about 40 or 50 cubes over the course of it with this deck, or a very similar build at least. Guess he eats Atuma and Zola's. Yeah, that's what I would assume. That he's using it for like a null. Probably a null Arnhem Zola build. In this one, Kitty Pryde is definitely, she's not required. So this original list was created and ran in a tournament last weekend. And instead of Kitty Pryde, it had Scorpion. And so then if you happen to use Scorpion, there's some times where you hit it with Odin, but most of the time it's just a good value card. Yep. And so if you change Kitty Pryde for Scorpion, I ran that version for about 15 games or so. I had a 75% win rate. Of course, very small sample size, but a 75-ish% win rate, 15 net cubes that I gained. And that's the exact same list, just taking out Kitty Pryde, adding in Scorpion. I'm coming for 2K points this stream. It'll be Mojo time. We will once you get the 2K points, we'll use the avatar change again. All I do is hit infinite. I would like something hit for hitting 200, 300. I would like something for that as well, but I think right now it feels anticlimactic. So right now, after a certain point, you're just playing bots. Once it's like an actual grind all the way through and you're playing real people, I think at that point, you really start striving for those rewards. But right now, I don't think it really makes sense past infinite. I'm sad. Kitty Pryde still hasn't blessed my shop. Oof. What's Psylocke for in this deck? To ramp. So, Jerkman, for this list, it's much closer to a ramp deck than it is for a death wave. And so for me, it's a mashup of the two. Psylocke is in the deck to either get a turn 5 Doctor Doom so that you can turn 6 Odin. You could Shanna's in your card. She's not a great card. She's fun, but not incredible. You could turn 3 Psylocke into a turn 4 Sarah. And that enables you to do the same thing, the Doctor Doom into the Odin, and just kind of enable some like more flexible play around plays. And so then you can always wave. If you have Sarah on the board, you just are able to flood and outpace them by so much. Did we destroy the Ugliest Craven? Is that what we destroyed with Yondu? Avatar fight. I'll change it off of Mojo in the future stream again. We'll have the back and forth from General Sergeant. So I think we
welcome.
snap into this.
Long enough.
Magic ZG, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Very much appreciate it. Very glad to have you here. That brings us up to 19 new Prime subs for the day. For some reason, the bot doesn't count our resubs, but a lot of support coming in from you guys. But yeah, so this one, it enables some of those bigger like play lines, and you can always ramp into it like an Arrow, into an Odin, and it's one of those flexibility pieces. So I think we're going to wave over to the right. It's going to allow us to do She-Hulk. Actually, it'll allow us to do Death and an additional card. Sarah on 4 is great. Yeah. Doom into Odin is cool too. Yeah. We don't get a reduced cost Death or She-Hulk, unfortunately. That leech is so low tempo. Like it always feels bad to get leeched. But they have so little on the board right now that it just feels wild to do. So if this is a pretty standard movement deck with Leech teched in, they probably have a Heimdall. If they Heimdall shift, they could play it in mid. That would make mid 16. I think we have to play Death to the left. Magneto? They could Magneto. They could Magento, according to Binks. Pretty standard. Yeah, I guess there's no like standard on movement decks. My bad. My bad, guys. Yeah. Magento could hurt us quite a bit. Leech move won a tournament, so it's fairly common to see now. Yeah, people kind of testing the waters with it. With Leech and Shang-Chi. Yeah, I've been seeing it a little bit. It's been kind of creeping up for sure. So it comes down to a read. I don't think it's really worth it, but we've been having quite a bit of success, so we're going to try it. We're going to try it. If they Magneto to the right, we can tie... Oh, wait, no. We don't tie mid. I forgot Killmonger was able to be grabbed. Well. No, really, Martin. I know it's Magneto. For whatever reason, Binks thinks it's really funny to pronounce it Magento. And I saw a TikTok from him earlier today, so it was in my head. I know it's Magneto. Leech goes in every deck. Leech can fit into a lot of decks, but you have to be able to still maintain and grab good tempo after. And so it's not one that can effectively be ran always. It's very much a... Oh yeah, the Magnet. Oh, okay, I got you. I got you, really, Martin. I see what you were doing. This Heimdall avatar is actually sick. I don't mind this one, yeah. It's always Magneto. It's always. I like Leech off wave or Lockjaw. Yeah, being able to do it either early or especially if you can rotate it back in with Lockjaw, feels where he feels the best. Otherwise, you have to have a really good value deck that's trying to maintain priority so that you can take that priority or that tempo hit on turn 5 and able to be able to drop it. I think we do Kitty Pryde 1 turn. Next time we can do... Actually, let's do two Psylocks. That will allow us to do a turn 3 Sarah. That's the avatar I use normally. I think there's a lot of really cool ones.
Hey, welcome. It took you long
And then
enough.
Jerkman, thank you so much for the Prime sub as well. That brings us to around 20 new subs for the day. I'm very glad to have you here. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream, and hopefully you're having a fantastic day. I use MODOK, but it does not fit TLSG. Mojo, however, does. How come Mojo fits me? Bot plate, yeah. I definitely think this is bot with the Abomination avatar, the like base like one-liner first name or even last name like name. I agree. I think it's bot. Do we go for the double Sarah? I think we do. It does take up some space though. Okay, not you, but the name. Okay, yeah. I get it. Cool. I wonder what sort of non-movement deck could take advantage of a surprise Heimdall. I've seen a few... So I've seen a few ways to build... I've seen a few ways to build it with a Doc Ock, so you can pull in one lane and then Heimdall shift your Doc Ock out of it. And so that's the only like surprise play I've been able to do. You could also do it in like a ramp deck, which I think Binks did one of those as well. Yeah, and Shang, and I think it used to be better, but Shang-Chi is so common now that I think Doc Ock is more of a liability a lot of times. Sandman gets kind of fun with Heimdall too. It really, I haven't tried Sandman with Heimdall, but it gets really restrictive. So I could see it in like a movement deck. You can also run armor to protect your Doc Ock. That's true. But then if you pull, yeah, I guess even if you pull big cards, if you have Heimdall to shift it. Icebox just made my Doom cost 7. If there was any kind of reduction on it before that turn, so like if there was a wave, there's a chance Icebox hits it. And then once it goes back to the normal cost, it's above what it should be. We have a 1-cost wave if we want to. I don't think we do. We're kind of restricted on space at this point. Oh yeah, that's true. Icebox can hit 6 costs. Because it doesn't have the restriction of no more than 6. You're right. Kind of like the old Baron Mordo used to be. Cerebro 3. It could be Cerebro 3 and then they use a Valkyrie here. But I guess they don't have any space. I think this is just a bot. A bot who played poorly. So the double She-Hulk... Kitty Pride, and then that. Yeah, Xandar still messes up Cerebro 3 too. If the bot somehow comes out with something wild to win here, I'd be devastated. The Iron Man. Iron Man definitely puts his staple on mid. It's the Sentinel Army. It goes along with our season pass. Icebox is Series 4. So the location, the Icebox. Yeah, monster. Even if they had Valkyrie, but then they don't have space to do anything else. He didn't lose every lane. You're right. What does TLSG stand for? So there's a lot of stories that it stands for. So I used to be a hiker, and it's in the chat if you want to read it, but I used to be an avid hiker before I got really into like playing games, and more specifically Marvel Snap. There was one day where I got very lost. I like to explore and kind of go off the beaten path. I got lost and I got stranded for several days. And I wasn't able to find my way back. Luckily, I finally stumbled upon another set of hikers, and they were able to kind of help me, and I got rescued. And once I got back, it's pretty traumatizing. And so all that I could think about was making sure that it didn't happen to anybody else. And so I started working on a little like safety device, and I called it the Trail Location and Safety Guide, so that if you're not on a trail, if you're like exploring and you were like me and you like to just kind of like explore the nature, it could always help guide you back to the trails if you ever happen to lose your way. Man's got more origin stories than the Joker. Yeah, so it actually stands for that live stream guy. And I have a few of the other commands. Bart used one, and so I have a few. It really stands for that live stream guy though, and it was like 6 to 8 years ago. I thought it would be. I had a Twitch account for all of like 3 weeks that I streamed on, And I thought it would be funny if somebody found the stream and they, when explaining it to their friend, they were like, hey, have you seen that live stream guy? And the response would be, which one? And so during those 3 weeks, chat shortened it to TLSG. And I just kind of, like carried the acronym with me through the other games that I played. And so that, of course, carried over here. So like World of Warcraft, it was TLSG. I think League of Legends, I had it as TLSG as well. And I just kind of stuck to it, even after I stopped streaming after 3 weeks. And then, so it's TLSG 3. Should work. I think I have through 4 right now. And free, yeah. So I wanted to make it fun because the original origin story, like it's cool, it's fun, but it's not super exciting. So I wanted to create an air of mystery around it. What is the boot camp one? So I haven't typed that one out. I have like 6 other stories that I've told that I haven't like put into commands, but I need to. I used One Man Army Pro and played Domination in Modern Warfare 2. I think my fastest nuke was 3 minutes. Wow. I definitely have not gotten one that fast. I've had my fair share of nukes in Modern Warfare, but not that fast. And I think maybe my son's here early. Hold on one second. Mm-hmm. All right, so he did. The bus got here early. Oh yeah, I guess I should have thrown it on Uatu. My bad. There's the Uatu. The Killmonger went first. I mean, so we have a Kitty Pryde replacement. Scorpion. Scorpion is just about as good in this list. So we could either do Doctor Doom and Odin to really like lock down this left lane. And then Death to the right. We have so many play options, and I don't know what's going to be the best one. We could also do Doctor Doom, Odin, but we still need to kind of pull up our Kitty Pryde. I guess this would fully cap out the right lane and put 10 more in. It put 10 more in the left lane. I think there's a couple ways to play this. I think they're doing something very similar with the Death Wave. We're going to lock this one in. This is a sick combo. When it works, it can work really, really well. So it's like the Death Wave, but it has other play lines and other options. And so it's been very, very consistent for me. And then Townhouse, thank you so much for the follow. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. Oh, they only had one card? Oh no, it's a Death Wave, so I assumed that they had at least 2. Doggo spotted? Yeah. Yeah, we had the doggo. She's on her bed now. Wasn't sure with only a couple destroy triggers. Was thinking of Carnage for Kitty Pryde / Scorpion. Yeah. Yeah, so so with this one, I think of it more as a ramp build than the Death Wave. So it looks more so to ramp into like your Sarah for value, your Doctor Doom early, your Odin, rather than lean all the way into Death Wave. And so I think for me, that's why like the Yondu and then just a Killmonger, that reduces death enough so that with one wave trigger, you can still do 2 cards on the last turn. Because you're looking to be able to consistently outpace them on like the last couple of turns of the game. Why do I have the worst habit of never paying attention to what Yondu destroys. Yeah, I have no idea. And then Not So Wavy. I'm doing well so far. We had a massive raid come through from Jeff earlier today, and we've just been writing out this absolutely broken list so far. Thoughts on cheesecake? I enjoyed cheesecake. I don't know. Like, I don't have any other profound thoughts about it. Are you planning on streaming / YouTube full time? The deck tracker, it normally does, but for some reason, all it tells me now is just an unknown card. Are you planning on streaming or YouTube full time? I would enjoy that. I would enjoy the opportunity to be able to do that, but I have to make sure that it is going to be consistent before I commit to it. And so, like right now, I don't know. If it stays consistent where it's not going to put my wife, my daughter at potential like financial risk, then yeah. But I think it had before I make that decision, I want to make sure that it's consistent over a pretty decent period of time first. So I think we're going to Dr. Doom here. We could Odin to retrigger wave. Actually, we may do that. We may Odin to retrigger wave just to restrict them because it looks like they're running like a bounce or a wave, or like a bounce or a flood style deck. So the more times I can restrict them from doing very many things, the better. I guess it got created from Agent Coulson. A classic Harrison Ford type. Always trying to look out for his wife and family. Yeah, I have to make sure that it's best for them as well. I would much rather just say that I quit my job tomorrow and jump in without looking back, but I have to make sure that it's viable first. So it doesn't show that any cards have been destroyed. Oh, only one card has been destroyed from Yondu. We can do the Dr. Doom. And if so, maybe we do Dr. Doom. Maybe not. Maybe we don't do Dr. Doom at all. Maybe we do Dr. Doom over to the left. That will allow us to do like a Shang-Chi in Subterranean on the last turn to be able to swing this location as well. Yeah, the game said no, we're not going to do that. Follow Linus Tech Tips and get sponsored every single video. If we start getting a lot of sponsors, then yeah. But I don't think we quite have the reach of Linus Tech Tips, though. So they did use Shang-Chi. They swung this location. I think maybe we do this. And then Not So Wavy. Thank you so much for the follow. Glacon and Sensual Sloth Hiroi, Townhouse, and Agilio. Thank you all for the follows, by the way. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if this is enough. It might not be. With them playing 3 cards, oh, that's a big hawk in the left lane. Oh, and the Rocket Raccoon is big as well. Quick example, the old Surfer decks could be great with Sarah, not so much now. Yeah, I've still ran Sarah in a few of them, but it's just not, like, it doesn't have as much, like, push. Sure thing, man. Been following you on YouTube for some time. First time catching you your Twitch. I'm glad that you were able to jump in and catch it. What's the deck strategy? The deck strategy is to win games. So it's kind of a mashup between like a ramp deck and a death wave deck. So I think it leans, for me anyways, it leans more heavily on the ramp, just without Electro or Sandman. So it has the... All right. No, you're okay. So I was making sure you were okay. So it has the standard components of like a ramp, where you want to do your in-game like Arrow into Odin, Dr. Doom into Odin, which happens to synergize really well with the Death Wave if you don't have the restriction of like the Sandman and the Electro to limit you to only 1 card per turn. Mini TLSG cameo. What breed of dog do you have? So I have 3 Great Pyrenees puppies. Or not? I guess they're not puppies. They're like full-grown dogs now. But I have 3 Great Pyrenees. So Black Widow's gone. The rocket's gone. Korg is gone. Can we get Hawk? Can we hit their Hawk? We do. We hit their Hawk. Oh, that felt like a solid. That felt like a solid Yondu. It helps our death out a lot, and then we have Killmonger to further lean in on it. It's one of my favorite lines with Yondu, especially if we have a way to clear it. That was mean. Yeah, I agree, Lou. That wasn't nice. That wasn't kind of us. A pre-recorded stream. Yeah, calling out the Hawk the Hawk pull. I think we're gonna skip into a She-Hulk next turn. How are you not covered in dog hair? So we don't have carpet, so it's a little bit easier to just like sweep up. But our couches, because we're big softies, we allow them to jump on the couches. Those are covered. So anytime we lay down, we stand up, and it's just like we have a new coat. Now you played Moon Knight. Yeah, Moon Knight would be okay. So they return fire with another like pretty mean play. At least we destroyed the Hawk, so we don't have to worry about that being massive. We have 13 cards in our deck. Wow, and we still draw Odin instead of one of the many rocks that are there. So let's do She-Hulk. We'll do Death, because we should be able to win this lane, I think, without any issue. We'll do Death to the right. On the last turn, we do maybe a Dr. Doom. Yeah, we can beat them easy in mid now, though. Ooh, the Mystique into the Carnage. I feel like they're just staying to stay at this point. They don't have any cards left in their deck. They only have 3 cards in hand. Yeah, and we still drew Odin. I don't... there's one of the rocks. So we now hit one of the rocks. If they have Shang-Chi, they can swing the right lane. They have to play something here and then play it over there. So maybe we do Dr. Doom? Or they have actually 2 of their cards are demons. So they get 6 extra power here. 6 and 6, oof. So they could do demon something demon. They won't expect Doom. I think we arrow. They could potentially play around it. If all 3 of their cards are 1 cost, or I guess below their last one if it's below 4 cost, they could do demon. Oh, actually a demon here wouldn't win it, would it? Shang-Chi. If it would have to be, I think, demon, Shang-Chi to be able to beat us. Just arrow left? Yeah. The double demon and then the Shang-Chi. Wow. They... If they ordered that properly, we would have lost that one. Wow. Yeah, had they done the demon Shang-Chi and then demon over here to protect from the arrow play, we were beaten. We've been getting an incredible string. Doesn't know that arrow changed. Maybe not. We've been getting an incredible string of good luck today. Like we've absolutely been on a tear with the list. Let's see what our updated stats are at. We're at 67 games with the Doom Kitty list. 65.7% win rate, a net cube gain of 91. So an average of 1.36 cubes per game over the span of 67 games. Absolutely nuts. I was a little frustrated because of not having fun, so I made a deck just to make my opponents mad, and now I win. No win condition. I only count on retreat. JJ, no, we're not gonna. Nothing against Nick, but we're not gonna call him out. And then Alia, you said Iceman, Mantis, Yondu, Cable, Daredevil, Scorpion, Green Goblin, Debris, Absorbing Man, Spider-Man, Professor X, Leader. JJ, you said, "Oh, cool, I like you." I'm glad that I'm glad that that you're enjoying the stream, JJ. And then Alia, I think just looking at it, it's incredibly disruptive. We destroyed their Doctor Doom, which is unfortunate for them. Oh, we also have 2 She-Hulks to lean in on. You passed the vibe check. We try our best. Obviously, add the Punisher to play for player on round 6. Such high stats, even with Krakoa. Yeah, even with Krakoa, it hasn't been doing us dirty. Question: if you Cerebro and use Mystique and next turn Absorbing Man, no. So once Mystique copies an ongoing, it's no longer an on reveal card. It replaces the on reveal status or effect of Mystique with ongoing instead. And so we both pulled our Odins. They have Sandman. We don't have. Oof. We don't have Doctor Doom. We know that they don't either, though. They could arrow to the left. Right now, just pure point wise, we're winning. They're winning mid by 6. We're winning left by 5. No, 4. We're only winning by 4. So we would need a really big swing. I don't know that Shang-Chi even does it. But She-Hulk matching up against like their potential big play, I don't think does it. I think we lose this one to an arrow. Since we don't have our Doctor Doom. But we're going to make them show it. Heimdall, wow. Not what I was expecting at all. We lose to a Heimdall as well. Speaking of the surprise Heimdall drops you guys were talking about earlier. Imagine losing to an arrow. Imagine losing to a Heimdall. I mean, they were thinking next level. Time to change the avatar. Oh, cool. Did you collect enough? Oh wow, yeah. I guess we have to change off of Heimdall. The avatar did foretell it. Punisher in a junk deck. Punisher in a junk deck might not be too terrible. I actually haven't tried Punisher, but I mean you get some guaranteed value from it. Yeah, at some point we're going to do 4 Kitty Prides. Either that or we do Yondu in the left lane again. It really depends on what else we draw. An insult to injury because you got the Heimdall avatar and lost to Heimdall. I know. And you just never even see Heimdall, so it just unfortunate. Someone needs to make a Surfer junk deck. Would that work? I mean, you have Debris. I mean, Green Goblin, you end up losing. Got to win the game with only Kitty. I mean, we could try it. We could have them all over the place. The Killmonger. Well. Now I wish we would have played it in Bar Sinister. Have you tried moon girling a bunch of kitties and She-Hulks? So for Kitty Pride, you're putting energy into it each turn. So if you skip one of those turns, that's very close Ray. Or not Ray, but Krakoa. Krakoa, that was almost the perfect play. Had you flipped those, we would have been very, very happy. Yeah, I do use Polaris in junk decks to help further clog those lanes. Hear me out. Doom left. Yeah, Doom left would have been great, but Krakoa had other ideas. Had drastically different ideas than what we did. That poor Killmonger. All we can hope for is to maybe top deck an Odin and force their Bar Sinister lane out of the Bar Sinister lane. Krakoa has really tested my sanity. I don't find it that bad. Always chooses the worst plays. Yeah, sometimes it does. But I don't think I finished explaining Bakes. So since you're needing to invest that energy just about every turn with Kitty to really make it viable, if you Moon Girl on 4, which is typically when you would have to do it for your She-Hulks, you could do Kitty on 1, play it again on 2, play it again on 3, and so then it's only 4. It's only a 4 power card. You're better off using like a Hood or a Titania at that point. So you think they'll change the Kitty Wave interaction? So I did until I was directed over to Twitter. Glenn Jones made a tweet, and verbatim, he said the Elysium, Dream Dimension, Wave, etc. are not bugs with Kitty Pryde. The passive cost modifiers look at the last zone the card resolved in to apply. So Kitty Pryde returned to hand, and replayed is still technically stationary, and so according to the tweet, it's working as intended. Have you tried Kitty plus Moon Girl yet? I have not. So you have to invest a lot of energy, like turn over turn, and so getting good value out of the Moon Girl seems like it'd be like inconsistent. So by turn 5, at most you're gonna have an 8 cost 1 power, and so then doubling down on it, you get some value, but just not as big. You could honestly just run. You could do Kitty Hulkbuster, I suppose. I did try it in a Mr. Negative deck, and it just didn't seem like I had enough counters to like common plays. So like Galactus, I just absolutely got wrecked by. And then Collector. Yeah, Collector, they said it was a bug as well. And so that's not working as intended. Or I guess that's the only bug that they addressed. The rest they said is working as intended. Unfortunately. Ooh, we get a really big discount on death. Every once in a while, you just get death value from collab. So BS, yeah, yep. Sometimes it just happens that way. Like Lamentus and Collapse Mine are just huge value for death whenever they pop up. I now carry a Scarlet Witch for Krakoa. Yeah. Yep. It definitely has not rubbed everybody the right way. There's a lot of people that just don't enjoy the location. Kitty Pryde makes your phone lag if I clone her. I had 8 in a game. Wow. Yeah, I haven't noticed too much lag, but I have noticed sometimes the opponent stalls out. Yeah, beast cost reduction. Wait, you said beast cost reduction? Did they say that specifically? Because I assumed that once it was on the board, since it's counting as a stationary state, that it would be the same thing. So it'd be the same thing as how it interacts with Elysium, in that it counts as a stationary and not something that was beasted. Krakoa just saved me from a Galactus. That's huge. That's in his thread? I saw that it was not bugged, and I stopped there. So the Lockjaw was a bug. I'm opening up the rest of it now. The Collector is a bug. Beast is a bug. She should hold Beast's energy reduction permanently. Okay, so that one makes sense. Wow. So there's some weird potential lines for like bouncing her and then using Wave, and you can just play it for free. And just being in a Beast bounce deck is also viable again. So I think she gets a lot better once that piece is fixed. A 0 cost Kitty sounds gross. Yeah. Yeah, even outside of Wave, just being able to play it every turn, it's like as strong as she feels right now. I think she gets even stronger after those changes come through. Recreational Hero and Namu and Tony, thank you guys for the follows. Beast plus Wave is going to be so OP. I don't know exactly how it's built, but it's one that may find its way into the game for sure, especially with like Hitmonkey, trying to limit the opponent's Hitmonkey while still bursting out your stuff. Yeah, her and Hitmonkey and Bounce is going to be insane. If she retains that 0, I would gladly give up that 1 turn for that extra reach. Come on and give me a green gift box. I think we stack here. I don't know. We go first, so we don't have a great card. We don't have a great finisher. We could use Arrow, but I think this is going to be our best. I guess Arrow and Kitty Pryde is probably technically better play. I'm guessing people will start carrying Electra more. You think she is worth the 6,000? I think she's very strong. I think it's still very early, so we don't know for sure. But I think she is potentially worth the 6,000. Like in this deck particular, she doesn't necessarily help it all that much, but sometimes she adds that extra bit of value that you need to be able to be flexible. And so I think it's just that consistency piece. And I think she is built in a way. My favorite thing with her is that compared to a Sunspot, which is like the closest comparison, you have a couple of advantages. You can pull her into your hand and replay her somewhere else. You can run Killmonger with it, which Sunspot is kind of restricted towards. Because yes, you can run Armor and Cosmo, but then you have to play it into the Sunspot lane and it becomes really clunky and determined by what cards you draw. And so with Kitty Pryde, you can just run those two, the Killmonger and Kitty Pryde, and you can just, whenever you are going to drop your Killmonger, just pull your Kitty Pryde back in. So that's been like my favorite interaction with it. Yeah, she does seem broken in Bounce once the Beast works as intended. I think that's going to be very scary, very formidable. Plus, since she can be moved to a different lane each turn, yeah. Electra, I think, is hard to hit. Killmonger, even sometimes, if you get the sense that a Killmonger is coming, I think Killmonger makes a huge comeback, though. I feel like you halted my gift boxes. We did, because we're actually winding down. We do have to look for somebody to raid. Have you tried her with Titania? I love the interaction between her and Titania to clog the opponent's lane. So you can use... So if you only have 2 slots left, the opponent only has 1, you can play Titania, play Kitty Pryde, and then you can pull your recall back in your Kitty Pryde so you have space to get Titania back onto your side of the board. I've really enjoyed a couple of decks that had that built in as well. Yep, and there's also opportunities to manipulate priority, which, depending on who you're going up against or what kind of opponent, can be very critical. So like if you have the Killmonger and you know you're going against a Patriot, you can pull it in before that last turn to try to offset in case they run an Ultron, and just a couple of other cool play lines like that. And so we're going to go ahead and raid you guys over into somebody. Thank you for all of the follows and just all of the support today. You guys have been incredible. After we had a late night live stream. So we will be live again tomorrow around the same time. And then there will be another video tomorrow as well. Do you guys have anybody that you want to raid over into? So it looks like we have Regis. He's been live for a while, so I don't know how much longer he's going. We have Dara that looks like he's just starting up. We have Nina is noob. We have Ocean Mud. We could raid Dara. I've never actually raided over into Dara. Regis, we raided Regis the other day. We have a couple of Regis, a couple of Daras. And so the reason I'm leaning more towards Dara, a couple of reasons. We raided Regis like a couple of days ago, and then Regis went live right around the same time we did. So I don't know how much longer he's going to be live. Dara looks like he's just ramping up, so I think he'll probably be live for a good 3 or 4 or more hours. So I think that's going to be the safer raid for you guys. And I enjoy his content. I hang out. I hang out in his chat all the time. So we're going to raid you over into Dara. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And we will catch you guys either in the next live stream, the next video, or maybe we'll catch you in some live stream chat as we lurk in the background. But I appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.